Hi and good evening and welcome to the True Mouse Games YouTube channel. My name is Alex and I have the honor of being your storyteller or game master or whatever Call of Cthulhu calls that position. Tonight we are playing, as you can see right down here, we are playing the continuation of our game from about 2 weeks ago, the Vampyre of Schwarzbrunn, a Dark Ages Call of Cthulhu role-playing game adventure set in the year 985 in a small village, about a day's journey north of the city that would once eventually become Vienna in the Holy Roman Empire. The empire is in turmoil as the emperor, Otto III, is only 3 or 4 years old, and the mighty, powerful Lord of Bavaria is coming for the crown. There is civil war going on. A lot of farmers and peasants have been drafted into the armies, and a lot of them will never return. In the small village of Schwarzbrunn, there are bad things happening. Women and children are disappearing and then being found dead with their throats ripped open, pale and blood, without any blood, just discarded in the forest. Our characters, of which we have 3 tonight, as our 4th player, Russell, is hopefully will be joining us soon. He's struggling with some technical issues, but hopefully he'll figure it out. Anyway, they have traveled to Schwarzbrunn. They have approached the local monastery there, and they have found all the villagers in the monastery. As they are hiding there, spending the night there, the village at night is deserted. They have done some investigation. They have gotten to know quite a few important characters. Amongst the monks, of whom which are only about 8 or so, they have talked to the abbot Bernhard. They have talked to the local healer, basically Benjamin, the chubby cook of the monastery, Waldemar, the large, fairly imposing, slightly aggressive monk called Ludwig, and last but not least, a monk called Erhard, who is a very harsh preacher, telling the villagers that whatever is coming to them, the disappearance of their women and children, is to punish them for their sins and such. They have also talked to Anneliese, who is at the moment sort of the unofficial leader of the villagers, sort of middle-aged woman whose daughter has disappeared quite a while ago and has been found dead. And Hagen, one of the hunters, a large black bearded man whose wife and 2 daughters had disappeared just a few days before the arrival of our player characters. Sadly, over the course of the next couple days, the wife and one of the daughters has been found in the forest, dead, their throats, as always, slashed open. The bodies have been investigated by our characters, and they have found out that the wound is probably made by with some sort of weapon, a knife or a short sword or something like that, and there is no blood in the body, so they assume that the bodies might have been, well, the people have been killed somewhere else and then discarded into the forest, the blood put to some nefarious purpose. A lot of people in the village think there is some sort of man-wolf or a blood-sucker, a vampire is behind it, but seeing that the wound is clearly made with some weapon and not teeth or claws, our player characters think that the perpetrator might be human, maybe even hiding amongst the villagers, amongst the monks. They have found a weird landslide that has gone off about half a year ago, destroying the house of a villager, a Jewish villager called Samuel. And they have also realized that this landslide has gone off in an area where no landslide should have occurred. Very recently, one of our characters, Guy, has talked to Anneliese, one of the villagers, and Anneliese told him that she has felt a small earthquake happening on the very day that that landslide happened, although no one else seemed to have noticed that earthquake. And reading in the local monastery's library, the Guy, the same character, has also realized that when that happened, this landslide, that was the equinox of last autumn of the year 984. So it was pretty much exactly, or nearly exactly a year ago, because we have the 20th of March at the moment, which means the equinox is tomorrow. Now, Hagen's wife and one of his daughters were found dead. The last one, just as we are jumping back into the game, has also been found. 3 of our characters, where everyone except for Guy basically, chose to investigate the area of the landslide in darkness to see if there's anything going on after dark there, with all the villagers fled from the village. No one was nearby. And they did indeed hear some weird voice calling out to them from the forest, a voice that did not sound human, and a voice that first spoke in a language that they were not familiar with, and then taunted them in their own like German local dialect, basically telling them to look to their sins, that the reckoning is coming. And the horses were spooked by the voice and this presence of whatever entity this was and ran off. They managed to recapture at least one of them, I believe, and they chose to set up a watch post in the southern forest, south of the monastery, which is on the side of a hill that has that sort of on the eastern side of the village, with a large stone cross all the way up top on the cliff, on the top side, or the highest point of this hill. And they were there all night, and they were waiting for the murderer or someone to come and drop a body off, if it may be. But however, nothing happened. And then as the morning dawns, just in the early hours, the gray light is just rising up from the ground or falling down from the sky, however you prefer that. Guy, he's wandering around the monastery, and he sees some of the monks gathered around the church, which is a small church chapel, really, not far from the monastery. They're gazing up. Their faces are filled with fear and terror. And he looks up and he sees a body, a small girl, the last missing girl, Anna, hung by the neck, dangling dead from the very tower of the church. And Hagen, her father, drawn by the commotion, comes up, sees that, and collapses. One of the monks cuts down the poor girl, and Hagen holds the body of his last remaining child in his arms. There is the same cut, the same wound on her neck, on her throat, that you saw with the others. And now villagers are gathering around this scene. Hagen, the large bearded fella who looks pretty thuggish nearly, just crying, holding his child in his hands. The monks standing around, looking powerless, looking confused. And the villagers are slowly starting to wake up and come in, drawn by this commotion. And they're all standing there wide-eyed and afraid. Guy is amongst the group. And the other 3 characters are just approaching coming from their nightly vigil, basically. And so they're all tired, they're all frustrated, and they come back to this horrible scene of this father holding his dead daughter, a girl of maybe 7 or 8 years, in his arms. And from that, we are jumping back into the game. So guys, the 3 of you have just entered the perimeter of the monastery, and you see this group in front of you, in front of the church. The monks, the villagers, and Guy somewhere in the mix. Hagen in the center, holding what looks to be a dead body. You cannot see, I mean, you probably would not notice, not immediately anyway, the last remaining bits of rope that are dangling from the church tower. What you do notice is there is a ladder, just basically leaning against the wall of the church. Slightly unusual, but there's probably other things of significance occupying your mind in this very moment. So, Guy, you see your friends, your companions coming up with 1 horse, and no one else really seems to be paying too much attention to you guys.
Guy, what's happening?
Lionel?
They found the body, and I may have found an answer. There's more question, but I may have one answer.
The last body of the child.
Yeah. I think it would be better if we leave Hagen.
Was the ladder used to hang the child?
Mm,
No, the ladder was used by Ludwig, one of the monks, the sort of big burly monk, to climb up and cut down the child.
I wouldn't take out this possibility, but we certainly use it to take it down. Take her down.
So,
Yeah,
Guy, what have you discovered?
The abbot comes over to you. He looks shocked. He looks pale-faced, dark circles under his eyes, his hands slightly shaking. He says, "What does this mean? This creature, this devil, responsible for all this? It's taunting us. It left a child."
Not. Yeah, there's something taunting us, but not there, not outside, not with so many people around. We need a place where we can talk without fearing being heard.
Yes.
Being heard.
Well, if you want to talk, you just go inside. Everyone's here. I think no one will try to interrupt you.
Let's go to the library. I have stuff to show.
Okay.
Indeed.
Okay, you guys push through the villagers. Basically, they're sort of gathered around, blocking the way a little bit, but they make way a little bit. So you sort of push your way through and enter the monastery, which is quiet. You can just hear some sobbing voices, and somewhere off, maybe in the stables, a child is screaming, like crying, basically.
Just clean your boots before entering, because there's a lot of books up there.
You enter the library. You light a lantern. It is still fairly dark inside, as the sun has not quite come up yet.
And there's probably all the notes and all the books I've consulted on a
Good.
desk where I slept, basically.
Yes, you have actually slept there. Yeah, so there's like a few notes that were smeared where his head was on, and you could probably see up close. There's a little bit of ink on his face.
Yeah. Normal morning. So, all these events are tied to the equinox, because when the earthquake happened, it was 6 months ago. So, and there's in a lot of legends and stuff, equinox and solstices, they have ties to pagan rituals. So I expect it's something happening tomorrow. Or is it today?
Tomorrow. It is the morning of the 20th of March.
So all this was a preparation for tomorrow. We've seen that the bodies are not tied to certain places, to certain symbols. So it could be something with the blood, as pure children have a certain aspect in cultural background and stuff, in traditions.
As far as you know, there was only women and children, both male and female children, boys and girls, and the women were of varying ages. So it's not like they weren't particularly young necessarily. Like Hagen's wife must have been in her maybe 40s or so.
Yeah, could be just kill everyone and just use the blood of children and stuff like this. But it's an idea. It's a possibility. It could be something completely different. It could be just killing people, or it could be something else. But something big is going to happen. How was your night?
I don't quite understand why the earthquake 6 months ago. Was it purely to kill the Jew, or for some other reason? And if it was to kill, perhaps tomorrow night there will be another earthquake and the whole monastery will disappear. who knows?
Yeah,
Any ideas?
I don't really know because could be sad, could be it's weird to say, but the earthquake could be a manifestation of a failed ritual of a certain sort. It seems weird.
Mhm.
It seems weird, and it's weird to speak like this in the house of God.
Hmm. I think we should tell Guy about the strange voice we heard. Was Guy there when that?
He was nearby.
I heard
It was with the
you.
horse.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I heard you said something about a voice.
Yeah, it was kind of like it wasn't a human voice, right? Like I'm just trying to see if we can tie it in with the equinox or something like that.
You're not sure what it was. It's definitely spoken a language that none of you understood, that seemed completely alien to you
Yeah.
at first, and then it switched into German and taunted you.
I could search in the library for weird voice coming out the day before the equinox, but it could take time. There could be not the right books here. And once
Well,
I'm
there are
done,
4 of us. There are 4 of us. Perhaps we should all have a look. More eyes, more minds. We need something.
Probably somebody else is going to get snatched today
Yeah.
because that seems to be the way of things. These villagers just keep going to work. They're probably doing the rituals and the murders themselves. They're not even trying to look. Maybe the crazy priest is the one who is right about things.
it could be anyone. It can't be any one of us because the killing happened before we arrived. But it could be anyone. It could even be someone from somewhere else just living in the woods. Could be the Abbey, could be Hansen, could be everything.
Could we have a look in the library? Perhaps studying pagan rituals on the eve of the equinox?
Yeah, we could. I have probably already a couple of books and notes about that.
Well, the library doesn't really have much on pagan rituals. That's not really a sort of topic that you will find in Christian libraries, not in detail anyway. There might be a few mentions, but nothing like, oh, this is how the ritual works. You need like blood sacrifice, blah, 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 blah. That would be very unusual, not to say kind of blasphemous to have that.
It's not uncommon to find in Christian libraries those sort of rituals laid out, but they're vilified and they're spoken of as evil. But there's still, maybe we could find information in there.
Maybe.
Like the way they write about the druids of Gaul or whatever.
You can definitely find some more generalized information.
I think I need to eat and sleep.
Yeah, you haven't slept. Remember, guys, the 3 of you have not slept at all, and you only got like maybe 3 or 4 hours at the most.
Yeah, I'm kind of used to it, but
yeah, I mean, it's not gonna affect you at this very moment. It's just in general you feel a little on edge and everything's a bit fuzzy. And if you do go another night without sleep, then it will start catching up with you.
we need to. Thing is, if we warn them and there's a panic, it's bad. If we don't warn them and there's something happen and they understood we hide something from them, it's bad. I'm not sure the monk can be useful, but the only hope, I think, informing the abbot, and
Yeah, I think we've got to warn them.
at least encourage the children to stay inside the monastery.
Yeah. Safety in numbers, and then I think we should go to sleep.
Agreed.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm sure one day away from the fields will not cause any problems. We should get everyone inside the monastery building.
Mm-hmm. Let's not mention ritual in front of everyone else, because with yesterday evening accident and this morning, it would be worse. But let's mention that 3 days of safety, at least a couple of days of safety, should avoid this problem.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So could we do that? We spread the word via the abbot to get everyone in.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes, I think so.
All right. So you step outside, and you can see the people have now split apart in small groups, and there's some heated discussion going on, and you can hear people shouting like, "This place isn't safe. We thought the holy ground would protect us," and that sort of thing. And like, the monster's gonna come for all of us, and we should run and flee to other like villages. And the monks are trying to calm down the situation, but they're clearly quite distraught themselves. And your old friend Erhard has started preaching once more in a corner. He's sort of walking in between groups and saying that it's their own fault. You have to repent your sins. Throw yourself at the mercy of the Lord. That is the only chance. That was the last warning, I tell you. And it's just walking around and spouting Bible verses and not generally being particularly helpful in calming the situation down. Let's put it that way. Hagen is still holding his child, just crouched over her on the side of the church. He doesn't look like he's moved the last 20 minutes.
I think they're right. They should flee.
Yeah, I was thinking that was another option.
Flee, you fools.
They should
Really getting off luck.
They should at least be grouped up, not flee everyone scattered.
If there's any reason at all whatsoever to think that the day of the year has anything to do with it, then it should be easy enough to persuade them to flee for 2 days and then come home.
Yeah.
We could stay behind.
Yes, it would make our lives slightly easier.
But I think I'm too tired and grouchy to talk to any of those monks right now.
Abbot Bernhard comes over to you. He's like, This is getting out of control. The people, half of them want to hide in the basement. The other half want to run away. What are we supposed to do? Can't you do something?
We'll at least try. Fleeing isn't a bad option.
As long as
For
they
a
stay in the
couple of
party.
days. For a couple of days, going away from these grounds. Because
What would that help? If the people flee and they return a few days later, who is to say this devil will not wait for them here? The only thing that will accomplish is that the fields will be even more barren than they already are.
Yes. But I lower my voice just so only him can hear.
Yeah.
We found stuff that ties all this even to the equinox. So
Equinox? Tomorrow?
yes. 6 months ago, the landslide.
Yes.
That was on the 21st of September. Fall equinox.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I've consulted your papers. I've seen that. It was that day.
I see. That is strange. I could.
There's ties in paganism around this moment of the years.
Yes, you're right. So you think it is some sort of pagans, devil worshippers, witches or something that are behind it?
It's definitely not Christianity, because
Well, no Christian would ever do a thing like this, of course. That's obvious.
yeah, so I think giving us a couple of days, maybe a week, it wouldn't hurt too much the fields.
A week? I don't know how many provisions that people have. I doubt any of the surrounding villages would be happy to feed 50 hungry mouths.
Then 3 days.
Well, if they were here, they'd be eating, so they can just take that.
True.
Yes.
True, we can.
They can take some ration, and
I suppose.
I'm fearing it says the risk it's spreading this fear across, but
So what is your suggestion then? Move to one of the closest villages?
yeah, probably. The less people are here, the less people are in danger.
Well, we cannot leave the monastery behind. I mean, I can spare a
No,
few,
but
I myself cannot leave. I can spare a few.
that's not what we are asking.
I suppose
Nothing attacked attacked Earth, attacked you. It was the women and children. They should be safe. They should be away.
True.
And they can't just run away by themselves, but we can stay.
I suppose I can send Ludwig and some of the others, and maybe a few of the men from the village, to take the women and children to the village down south. It's about 3 hours walk, the closest village, maybe 4 hours.
Yeah, I think it's not bad. It's a good idea, but it's a bad idea would be just to encourage them to flee. I think a better how we would have to say it to them. We'll need here a couple of days to make stuff certain that it's safe. So to avoid a worse situation.
Right.
They should seek refuges. They should seek shelter somewhere else, just for a couple of days. Not for more.
I see.
And if God bless us, something happened here, then They won't die here if something really bad happens.
I see.
But if it's really their sins that are bringing this upon them, and we've already seen the murder happen right here in the church, then whatever it is that's
The
killing
Christ
them,
died for our
just
sins.
follow them.
Well, but if whatever devilry is at work here follows them, then they are more in danger on the road than they would be here.
They're in just as much danger everywhere because we don't have a clue who's hurting them.
Yeah, and the problem here is not the danger from something outside, it's the danger from within.
What do you mean from within?
Says doubt in every face. See your brother preaching. It's a seed on which the devil will sprout. And I'm not sure that if it stays like this in a couple of days, they will kill each other. They will start to point fingers.
Well, the closest village is Althugel, about 4 hours journey to the south. I suppose if I get the people moving, they can reach it
Yeah.
before nightfall for sure, easily enough.
That would
Just the
be
question is,
better. Just to change atmosphere.
well, that's not. Yes. Who do you think? So, and you don't want to go with them to protect them?
I'm quite certain something is tied to this place rather than to them.
Right.
Yes, I agree. We are better suited here.
I suppose I'll have to send some of the monks away then, at least 3 or so, to take the women and maybe about half the remaining men. Take the women and children. That still leaves us about 3 or 4 men.
And if the men goes with them, they can protect them. If they stay grouped up, there's no risk of some of them being just picked away in the forest. If they stay together.
I hope you're right.
There's no telling what's going to happen, and we can sit here guessing all morning and it still won't help.
Right. Well, I'll tell the people that we'll escort them to Althugel, I suppose.
But don't force people of going if some don't want. We'll offer protection here, but
I see. Very well then.
if they feel that it's not a safe place, they should go for a couple of days until everything is sorted out here.
Yes, I don't like it much, but I suppose it's the best way. Right. I'll talk to the people. Turns around, so starts going from group to group.
And we'll be in our room. We need rest. We'll see you at the meal.
Right. I'll try to get the people to leave around noon. That will give them enough time. Take a few hours of rest. I suppose if you can get it.
That's a great idea.
All right. So you guys retreat to your little sort of cells that have been given to you.
Yeah.
And you try to catch a few hours of sleep.
Have to, yeah.
Okay.
I think soldiers have it. Get them when you can.
As you lie down and drift away to a sort of not particularly restful sleep nonetheless, all 4 of you give me a sanity check, please.
Sanity check?
Yes, please.
So you go for under? Is that right?
Equal or
under.
under your current sanity. I don't know if any of you have. I think you lost like 1 or 2 of you lost a little bit of sanity maybe in the course of the adventure.
Yeah, it was me. I lost, but this one I made.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, me too.
Okay.
Success.
All right.
Yeah, and success.
Okay. So all four of you, you lose 1 point of sanity. This is just the whole situation weighs on you, and you can't help but sort of wake up every now and then, just looking around, thinking there might be some thing or someone stalking the corridors with a knife. And also, as when you drift off, your dreams are unpleasant. You dream of a storm, the earth shaking under your feet. You dream of massive figures rising up from the dirt like giants, towering above the monastery. You dream of rocks falling up high, rocks dripped in blood, giant boulders rolling down a hill, landslides and earthquakes destroying everything above and below. But nonetheless, you manage to catch a few hours of sleep, and as you wake up around noon, you feel a little better.
That was a rough 2 hours.
More
Bad dreams. Bad dreams.
like 4, but yeah.
Just in time to wave the villagers off.
You stumble out into the courtyard, and you can see there's about maybe 30 or so villagers scattered. Women, children, old people, and a few men that are clutching sort of farm instruments as makeshift weapons. And they seem to be getting ready to leave. They're not all villagers. There's a good maybe 15 or so villagers that seem to have chosen to stay. They're still in the stables, and there's 2 men standing there. Yeah, just keeping watch on them, basically. You can see Ludwig, the big white-shouldered monk, is and 2 other monks are with the villagers that are about to leave. And the villagers look over to you.
And Erhard?
Sorry? Erhard seems to be staying here. He's not amongst the monks that are with the villagers.
If, as I've heard that probably the villagers haven't left, I'm staying behind. I'm not showing myself.
Okay. So the Ludwig, the white-shouldered blonde monk, comes over to you, obviously the sort of shaved top of the head, gives you a nod and says, I'll try to have these people reach Althugel safely. The abbot said you should stay there for a few days. And you can see that people are carrying like sacks with provisions and such with them. Will you give us some sort of message when we can return?
We will send word.
Good.
You are a brave man, Ludwig. Thank you.
Someone has to protect the people. Hagen is, I'm afraid, no longer capable of doing it. May the Lord's blessing be on you. Whatever devilry is here, I hope you destroy it, or at least scare it away. Go with God. And he turns and says, let's move out. And the people, a few sort of nodding in your direction, are slowly heading out and making their way down to the village, taking the road that goes off from the monastery to the village.
I'm gonna look up at the hillside and tell Volkmar about my dream.
Okay.
This morning I dreamt that one of those giant stones tumbled down the hill on us.
Rose out of the
I'm gonna
ground.
take it off as if it was just My mind playing tricks on me.
I too experienced something similar to that. Our minds are playing tricks on us. We have.
Makes me want to get out of here, to be honest.
Well, we must get to the bottom of this mystery.
While you're standing there, Bernhard and Valdemar, Benjamin Valdemar, the healer and the cook, come up to you, and Valdemar, who looks quite nervous, looking around, says, "So now that most of the villagers are gone, what are we going to do?" And Benjamin says, "I've made Anna ready for burial. If you want to take a look at her, usually we would wait the night and bury her in the morning, but under these circumstances, we felt that
No,
to do it now."
it would be better to do it now. I'm not sure. We need to look out. I'm speaking low just to him.
You say you stayed behind in the building?
Yeah, but now the villagers are gone.
Oh, okay.
I'm coming back.
Right.
Probably came with them if they came from inside.
All right. Fair enough. Yeah.
And I'm not sure we really need to see the body, but just to confirm, you saw a standard wound on the neck.
Yes, it looked very similar to
And
the other
to
things.
the other case, and also mark on the.
Of course, there was marks on her neck. I mean, that was
From the rope. Even
yeah.
even dead bodies before have marks.
Valdemar, who looks around, he says, "Are you? I don't want to blame anyone, but are you sure that I've heard something about pagans and witchcraft? Are you sure it's not one of the villagers that just left that might be behind the whole thing?"
No, we're not sure.
Wouldn't that kind of letting the fox into the hen house, if you know what I mean? I can't help but worry about them.
Yes, but they're with the shepherds.
What happened last night? Someone came into the very monastery itself and hung the child from the steeple.
Yes.
Amongst us.
Horrible, if you ask me.
The thing is, if something happened to the villagers, we'll know with the tide because they have a shepherd. They have shepherds with them. If something happened here, it's someone's here.
Yeah, Benjamin says, yeah, Brother Ludwig is with them. I'm sure, and so are two of the others, and the men with them are harmed. So I'm sure they'll be fine. I mean, they'll be in Althugel before nightfall. Hopefully, they'll be safe there.
Has anyone remained behind?
Benjamin and Valdemar look at each other, and Valdemar goes, yes, about a dozen or so villagers. Too stubborn, I suppose.
It's less people to take care of and watch out from.
They're all the stables.
Yes.
Usually they would like to go out to work in the fields, but I'm sure
that's not a good idea. We need to stay grouped up because if it's someone of, I'm sorry, but it can't be from us four as we just arrived at. If it's someone from the people that are still left here, splitting up is dangerous.
Yes. So
if
yes, if it happens here, then all the people that left are innocent.
I suppose someone could travel back, but I know what you're saying. Yes. What are we supposed to do now? The abbot said you had some sort of plan. Should we post some sort of watches or guards or something? I mean, after we, of course, bury
Let's
yes, Benjamin. Benjamin as well. Yeah, of course.
let's not care about that and protect and do our task for this girl, for this body, for this girl.
Right, Benjamin nods and says, I'll deal with that. I will give her a short wake, and then in about maybe an hour or two, we will bury her.
Is Hansen is still here?
I'm sorry?
The father
Ludwig?
is still here.
Sorry, Hagen, you mean?
Hagen, yeah.
Waldemar says, yes, we gave him in Ludwig's cell. We're going to leave him in the next couple of days. I don't think he'll be leaving it much. I bought him some food, but he hasn't touched it. He's hit very hard.
It's perfectly understandable.
It will take a while for him to get back up, if ever. I'm not. I will pray for him, won't we, Benjamin? Yes, of course we will. But first, let us pray for poor Anna and her soul. May she rest in the light of the Lord. Yes, indeed. May she do that. Praise be the Lord. They both cross. Make the sign of the cross. And Valdemar says, so you'll let us know if you need anything, yes?
Yes, I will.
There's only 4 of us here now, so.
So in total, there's just over 20 people here?
Yeah, counting you, it will be just over 20 people, yeah.
Is anybody that's sort of stayed behind kind of suspicious?
You know,
Somebody
we'll have to be
like,
the judge of that, I'm afraid. So you can take a few minutes to look around and get the bearing to see who's still here.
yeah, absolutely.
So basically, there's 4 monks remaining. There is Benjamin the healer. There is Valdemar the cook. There is your old friend Erhard, let's call him preacher, and the abbot himself. And then there's about a dozen or so villagers. Amongst them is, of course, Hagen, who is in a small cell, just broken down and basically out of it. There is Annalise, the older woman you talked to a couple times. Yeah. And about 10 other villagers, basically. Most of them are sort of elderly people who just too stubborn, or they don't want to leave the place that they lived in all their lives. There's no children. The children are all left. There's 2 men sort of there who are positioned sort of at the stables and keeping an eye on the rest of the people.
And the general victims were children and young women, right?
Not necessarily young women, just women in general.
Okay.
Young-ish. None of them was very old. Let's say, none of them was like beyond 50, but there was young women and
But nobody matches that profile behind.
Well, there's about 2-3 women maybe that would be sort of around the age of like 40-ish, in the 40s, basically.
So basically, if it happens again, chances are one of these 3 ladies is going to be the target, right?
Maybe.
Well, I'm just sort of hypothesizing.
That sounds reasonable, right?
Yeah. Or everything is ready for something to happen now, because the last murders were split up on multiple days, but the people were taken a couple of days before.
Yes, as far as you recall, the 3. So Dietlind, which was Hagen's wife, and her daughters Anna and Maria were taken the morning before you arrived. Sorry, no, the day before you arrived. And then you basically found 1 body
each day
after.
Yeah, so
I will ask everyone who stayed behind as we go to the stable, why didn't you flee with the others?
So you're just asking the villagers in general?
I'm asking them as a group, yeah.
Right. one of the older men speaks up and says, "Well, this is our home. Whatever devilry is at stake here, we'll survive it. And honestly, if we don't, I've lived a long life. Better takes me than any of the children."
Hasn't been taking men. I guess it's safe enough for you.
If
Saves the long walk.
maybe.
What about the ladies? Then, having had that, then following up on what Gunther was just saying, of everyone who's left here, you three are the most likely to be taken. Do you
They look at
realize?
each other. And Annalise goes, "We know that. We'll stay safe. Won't be moving around much. We'll stay in the monastery. And we'll never go anywhere alone. Don't worry." And she also sort of presents a pretty nasty looking knife that she must have got from maybe the kitchen of the monastery or something. And she says, "This thing that took so many from us, I kind of hope that it tries to take me." And she puts the dagger away.
Maybe just like a wild thought. Maybe we can like use it for bait.
I just had the same thought.
If she's up for it.
I'd be ready to do that if you think we can draw this devil in, and if you can destroy it.
Yeah, I reckon we should do it.
One of the men, that older guy, speaks up and says, "What are you? You can't do that, Annalise. Don't bring yourself into danger. These men, they're sellswords, mercenaries. They know how to take care of themselves. You're a farmer's wife. You've already lost so much. Do you want to lose more?"
Don't try to stop her just because she's braver than you are, old man.
I don't have to listen to this.
We should go. Let's take Annalise and go make a plan.
He turns around and she calls out to the other two villagers that are left behind, the two young men, and they both look very nervous. But they're all, one of them is like clutching a pitchfork, and the other one has a shovel in his hand, and they look nervous, but also kind of quietly determined. And she calls out to them and says, "You two, take good care of the others. I'll be with these men. I'll be safe." They nod, and one of them says, "Whatever you say, Annalise, if you think that's for the best, I do. We'll be back before nightfall, yes?" She looks at you.
Indeed.
I'm not sure if this ceremony is due to happen at night. Then perhaps everyone should be going out into the woods this evening.
No, we don't have the precise moment of the equinox, because today we know that the equinox is on at 12:35 or something like that. We don't have that.
The equinox is tomorrow, but you don't know what the precise moment is. No?
Yeah. Could be sunrise, could be Sunday.
Does anyone have astrology or something like that in their skills?
Doubt it.
Well, no, Marcus wouldn't have it, of course, but some other gentleman might.
I guess not, eh?
No, I don't.
Gentlemen.
Okay.
No,
in that case, you have no idea. You just know that it's tomorrow.
Yeah. I know that the rituals are tied to, it could be sundown, it could be rising sun, it could be midday.
Yeah, usually there's a couple. Yeah, exactly, as you were saying, there's a couple of like significant. It's either sunrise, sundown, midday, or midnight. That's usually the four classical sort of times to do any type of pagan, fiendish sort of magic stuff.
Sure, but what we need to keep in mind is when the people were kidnapped, that was all during the random times during the day, right?
Yes.
Yes, as far as you recall, the people were taken during the day.
Well, while you're suggesting that maybe stay the night, I'll make a snarky remark about that it went quite well last night.
What about the time of the earthquake 6 months ago? Pinned down?
Were you
No,
Annalise,
wasn't.
Annalise?
She looks at you and says, I believe it was around sundown. I'm pretty sure, in fact, that it was around sundown. I was just coming back from Samuel's house, and I turned because I felt the earthquake, and then I saw the landslide coming down. A couple other people saw it as well. They were just heading home from the fields. A couple of them were still out on the fields working. It was harvesting season.
And this was after the boy David had gone missing.
Yes, about a few days. I'm not quite sure. A few days after. Yes.
Annalise, where do you think you should wait in order to be hopefully attacked?
I have no idea.
It sounds like the kids and the others were just grabbed from any old place.
Yes, I don't. I mean, no one's ever seen.
It's very hard to make a plan. We have no real information.
No one's ever seen it happening, so I don't know. I mean, they were all taken somewhere from around the village, I suppose. So maybe if we go down.
Always go back to where we heard that voice.
Sorry,
Yes.
That was Samuel home.
what
Yeah.
what are you talking about?
We heard the voice.
What kind of voice?
Speaking strange tongue and in the woods yesterday evening.
So you heard whatever is responsible. So it is some sort of creature or some devil or something.
We don't know. We didn't see it. We just heard it. So we don't know.
Or what do you think?
It sounded very strange to be human.
It's the only place we've been where we've encountered something twice, so that might be something.
Where did you hear that voice?
We will show you.
In the forest just by Samuel's house.
Yeah, it was maybe about 200 yards or so north of Samuel's. Yeah, the sort of destroyed farm. She looks nervous. You say in the northern forest? You say?
Indeed.
I see.
Why does it mean something to you?
No, that doesn't mean anything to me. I mean, I'm just surprised that it was around the same area. That the earthquake happened, I suppose. That could be some sort of clue.
It could be. I more or less expect today to be safe and tomorrow to be bad.
What do you want me to do then?
It doesn't hurt to try something.
So,
We just miss sleep.
so what do you want me to do?
Let's take a walk.
Just down to the village? All right, I suppose.
We have time.
Fair enough. Okay, so she starts walking down. Are you all coming with her?
Yeah.
Yes,
Yes,
Absolutely.
as much as it
because
goes against Valdemar's ethics to do this, he's run out of options. So
All right.
and I've probably run out of option in the library.
Maybe, yeah.
Combat is my first option.
So you walk down to the village, and the village is quiet and empty. Bit of a wind. It's a sort of grayish day, fairly thick cloud cover, not much sunlight coming through. But the village is abandoned. All the villagers are either up at the monastery or gone about an hour ago. There's no one working there. Only Annalise and you are standing down there.
We'll never make a move if you're standing right next to us. But I feel it would be so fast that if we couldn't actually see you, we will never find you again.
Oh, well, what do you want me to do then?
Honestly, I feel like we should all just leave. If it is a supernatural force, then none of us has any defense against it. It doesn't leave a track.
We can't leave. These are our homes.
Your home is a death trap now.
Oh, we're not dead yet.
Well, let's go back to the North Forest and have a walk round.
Okay. You head north, past the landslide area, past the destroyed farm of Samuel, and reach the northern edge of the forest. You can still see there's a few like hoof prints of your horses where they bolted in the area. So you can find the spot where you entered the forest last night fairly easily. And you know you went in maybe about, I don't know, 50, 100 yards or so. So not too deeply. The forest in front of you is moving slightly in the wind, with the leaves, the branches, and you can hear a couple crows in the distance. But other than that, no sound.
We'll try and find the spot where we heard the voice.
Yeah.
That's going to be pretty tricky. It was dark, and you're not really familiar with this forest. So unless someone has some sort of follow trail skill or something. Which actually,
I do have that, actually.
Yeah, Marcus might have that. So you could try retracing your footsteps, sort of thing. So you can.
That's a great idea. Okay.
That's really the only way I can see you finding the exact spot where you were.
Well, I'm going to try it. But a fail, 73.
Out of?
Out of like 40, I think it is. 40, yeah.
Okay. So you will still find it. It wasn't a very difficult task, but it will take you a while. It takes you half an hour to just walk around the forest, like scanning for tracks, and find them. And eventually you realize, you walked past these tracks at least twice, but finally you do find them. And you it's an easy check, which basically means that your stat is doubled. So in Call of Cthulhu, you have normal checks, hard checks, and easy checks. Easy check means just doubled, hard check means your stat is halved, basically.
Sure.
Right? Most checks are normal checks. But yeah, this one, as I said, it's not very hard to find the trail of 3 people that is only like half a day old in the forest.
Great. But nothing besides the trail. All we find is a trail.
That's what you expected to find, I suppose. Did you find?
Well, so I'll follow the trail, and at some point we would have just stopped.
Exactly.
So I'll be on the lookout for that point.
Yeah, you find the point easily enough. You've headed maybe 70, 80 yards into the forest, and then the tracks come to stop and they return, basically. And now all 5 of you, well, the 4 of you and Annalise, are standing where you stood maybe about 12, bit over 12, maybe 14, 15 hours ago. Basically, late evening last night.
Now, can I see any sign of the being that made the the talk. I'll look for other tracks in the area now that it's light out to try and find the kid or whatever.
Okay, go for it. Yes, that is correct. One of you does remember seeing a small figure, a silhouette, like out of the corner of your eye, on the corner of the edge of the forest.
Yeah, that was me actually.
Oh, that was you. Okay.
Oh, 88. Hard to find.
No, there's no. You spend about half an hour just like spiraling outwards from that spot, and you search about maybe 100 yards diameter around, but there's no other tracks to be found. If there was someone else there, it doesn't seem to have left tracks.
What about in the trees? Is there any indication in the trees that something travels from tree to tree?
It's hard to say. You would have to spend several hours searching the whole area to be able to make certain that you might have not missed something. I mean, there's dozens and dozens of trees here.
Sure. Yeah.
And I mean, you can do it if you want, but as I said, it'll take you quite a while.
I think we're fucked. They should have sent 4 other people.
Well, the Margrave of Vienna does not have like a million retainers, sadly.
That's it, eh? Best you could do on a budget.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Well,
absolute
Annalie,
accountant.
where we heard that monstrous voice. This is not far from where I think I saw a small child who
Wait, you didn't.
Hagen.
You didn't say anything about a child. You saw a child?
Yes, and Hagen thought it was Anna, but if it was,
And maybe it was.
Mm.
If this creature is taking the children, they might be hidden close by or something.
We've already searched with Hagen.
yeah, we've been looking like mad.
I see.
And when we suggested that everybody come here to look all as a big group, they're all like, no, we just got to work the farm.
Well, you didn't
Yeah.
actually suggest that.
Thought it would be a good idea to send them away because they seemed so reluctant to actually put up an effort to search.
Well, you're not a farmer, so you probably don't understand. With the war and the men leaving, having to leave, being taken by the lords, the armies, we're hard pressed to survive the autumn and the winter as it is. Every hour we lose, every person we lose that's not working on the fields makes it less likely for us. I don't think you understand.
Oh, I do. And I know that the people who all left today could be here with us right now.
You sent them off, didn't you?
They wanted to leave. It's okay, Annalise. But I don't have a single clue. We've looked and looked. And as far as finding a pattern, we might as well just sit down under any tree and it will be just as likely to be right as if we sat down under any other.
I see.
The only thing we haven't done is dug up the remains of Samuel and his son.
Well,
Pick up his remains. What would that help?
Exactly.
we've
was an idea.
looked about that, and we said it was a hard task.
Mm.
It wasn't really something we could have done by ourselves.
I mean, you can, but it'll take you like the better part of the day, basically, to excavate the whole thing.
Yeah. But I think he was the victim.
Oh, yes. I've known Samuel. He was a good man. He would never be involved in anything like this. His own son was the first to disappear, wasn't he? Or at least that's what I think.
Mm.
The other villagers think that he ran off, but he loved his father. He loved his brother. He wasn't the happiest of children, but he would never have run off just like that. I think he was the first victim of this potion. Never did that.
But why? Why? Did any? Oh, I've probably asked this before, but did anyone new enter the village on the few days beforehand?
No, there's hardly any strangers passing through. I think the last one who came through was about maybe 4 or 5 months ago. Was a tinker. There's a few tinkers once or twice a year. Sometimes a traveling monk. Relative, very rarely. That's all. We don't get many strangers here, and I don't think I've seen anyone that wasn't local in the last couple of weeks.
No, I guess we will never know what sparked this off.
I don't know. We should
Pagan.
Let's head back, yeah. And if nothing happens tomorrow, then I'm not sure we can still do something. I'll even have less clue if nothing happens tomorrow. Or nothing happened today at the monastery.
Volkmar, you sense that Annalise seems, well, obviously scared, but you also sense that there's something more. She's sort of slightly evasive here and there. You're not sure if she's holding something back, or maybe she's afraid of you for some reason or something. You're not sure, but there's something fishy about her. Also looking around the forest quite a bit.
Yes. Well, I'll try and put her at ease. So, tell me about your daughter. I know it may be hard, but I'm sure you had good times and good memories.
Well,
Tell me about her.
there's not much to tell. She was 9 years old.
Hmm.
She was the only one of my children surviving.
I'm sorry to hear that.
Well, now she hasn't survived anyway.
And your husband was taken off to the wars?
Yes. I hope he comes back, but when he does,
These are hard times we live in.
they are. All you need to do is pray for protection, right, and guidance, I suppose.
We must. Do you have a rosary?
No.
Okay. I'll give her mine. Yeah.
That's. Are you sure?
Absolutely. I think we should all be praying. And
All right.
you've shown bravery.
She takes the rosary and sort of puts it away. Her skirt.
We are here to help, don't you?
Yes, of course.
And we need all the information we could possibly get, no matter how trivial you may think it is.
Well, I've told you everything I know. I've talked to your friend. She points at Guy, who's standing like a couple of yards away.
Oh yes.
Last
the bookworm.
night, I told him whatever I can think of, really. I don't know.
And there's nothing more?
No.
Even the slightest hint of anything? A thought, a feeling, a sensation.
Give me what's that called? The persuasion check in Call of Cthulhu?
Fast talk. Oh, yeah.
Persuasion.
You have
Yeah.
persuade.
Wait, I do, yes. Let me find my roll. Oh dear. Failed. Missed it by 40%.
Oh, okay. Yeah. No, she just shakes her head and says, no, that's really all. Nothing else I can think of.
Well, if you do, like I said, we need every piece of information we can.
Of course, I would never try to hide anything from agents of the church.
Well, look, we're nearly here now. Thank you. Thank you for coming with us.
All right, so shall we head back then?
Yeah.
Indeed.
We just keep walking back and forth.
I think I'll stop listening to you when you say you want to go over there, because we walk a lot for not a lot.
Say that again.
You're getting exercise gear.
Nah, I prefer my books.
I think I
You
prefer your book.
always have some form of answer in them.
And Gunther's a little bit fat, so he needs the exercise.
That's true. There's a bit red in the. So you return back to the monastery. It's now maybe about 4 o'clock in the afternoon. Still a few hours of daylight left.
Nothing happened?
Yeah.
No, everything's quiet. The monks are on guard, standing, giving out a bit of food, then praying in the church. The abbot looks more and more nervous, sort of waiting for you as you come up, and he says, "Everything all right? Did you find anything?"
We found nothing. Which I suppose is good in one way.
Oh, at
There's still a lot of trees in this forest.
least no one else has disappeared. That's something, right?
Always look on the bright side, yes.
Right. So what now? Are we just wait? We hunker down. We pray.
Yeah, maybe just. Do you have a history of Annalise? I mean,
What do you mean? Like, as a, I've known her, of course. I've known her for what, 20 years now or so.
I mean, is she born from this area?
Yes, as far as I know, she's didn't think she's born in this very village. I could look it up, I suppose. My predecessor would, if she's born here, her name would be in the chronicles. But why is that important? Do you suspect her? So
No, we don't know. No suspects
she's not the most faithful.
as of yet, but just
Yeah, she's not the most faithful of the people here, but she's a good woman. She's I've never heard of any bad words about her. It's been hard.
we're just working out angles. So if you don't mind looking it up and passing on the information,
Of
be
course,
much appreciated.
I'll look it up. Yes. Do you want me to go now?
Thank you.
All right, of course. I'll be back. The library.
I'll be back.
I'm frustrated, so I'll probably head to the library to do mindless research, just picking books, picking stuff, trying to cross-reference.
Okay. Is there any specific books or subjects that you're looking for?
Probably around the stones, due to my dream. The previous stuff, but I've already found stuff about that. Not especially, but
Okay.
it's how I cope with stress. I just read books.
Just give me a random library use check then. Always a small chance to come upon something, I suppose, by accident.
30% of success.
Okay. No, that's not enough, I'm afraid. So you're getting busy, and the abbot spends about an hour just flicking through chronicles, pages upon pages, and reading up.
I'll probably help him.
Okay. Yeah, you can see, as you've seen before, there is most of the chronicles is just like deaths, marriages, births, and like natural things like big storms, drought, stuff like that, basically. There, here and there's some like stuff like new monk has arrived here, like basically, or villager has married off to a different village, or like new arrivals into the village, or just general like housekeeping of the monastery. Like this much money has been spent in this during these 3 months. We have bought like supplies for winter here and here. It's like these monks have been sent over there to fetch this and this, and that sort of stuff, basically. But he's just flicking through fairly quickly, and he's looking through the earliest of these chronicles are nearly 100 years old, about 80-ish years old. So there's quite a lot of books. So there's about 35, 40 books just in those chronicles. There's about 2 books, 2 years, 2 years in one book. And he eventually finds Annalie's birthday. She is 45 years old at the moment, and she has indeed been born in the village of Schwarzbrunn. And he says, yes, what your friend wanted, the reeve. That is, let me know, please.
Yeah.
Could it be something as simple as a ritual taking place at a third giant stone? That seems a bit too obvious, but what else have we got?
The bodies weren't near any particular places, so
Yeah,
there could be something happening. There could be something happening tomorrow to a giant stone, but there's many of them all around the place, and perhaps some haven't been found.
We're basically just waiting here for the next person to die.
Or for hell break loose, or for the 22nd to come, and
we should probably not be here either. We should spend the night away from the monastery.
I'm not spending my night outside. You talked me once into that.
We got rained on.
Did the monk come back with the news on Annalise?
He told Guy to tell you. Guy would have eventually told you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, hours later after we found, because I've kept searching during the meal, during the dinner.
Mm-hmm.
We might as well all be blindfolded and hoodwinked with our hands tied behind our back.
Time passes, and the monks and also the people present are getting more and more nervous, and you can see basically gazes resting on you as people are waiting for you to do something, but you're just sitting around.
I'm in the library. I'm searching.
Yeah, the abbot is sort of pacing back and forth, talking to everyone a bit here and there, just asking you again and again if everything's fine, if there's anything he could do. And they're just pacing back and forth. and the child Anna has been buried by now.
So is Eckhart still with us?
Sorry, Eckhard, Erhard, you mean? Erhard is still with you. Yes, he's still around. He's gone a bit quiet. He's just sitting, standing in a corner of the monastery, just casting gloomy gazes around himself and you.
I think we should gather everyone together and hold a service. Eckhart, would you mind leading it? Eckhart.
The service is led by the abbot. I cannot hold a service without his permission.
Abbot?
What?
Would you give Erhard permission to hold a service for this evening?
He gives you a sort of weird look and sort of takes you aside and says, "Are you sure that's a good idea? We've heard Erhard's favorite pieces.
I have a plan."
You are nervous enough as it is.
I have a plan.
You mind sharing it?
It's an attempt to draw out anyone who may be the perpetrator, who is actually within these walls as we speak.
You think surely not. You think the murderer, the witch, that whatever it is, the devil is here amongst us. Should we not?
Everything is a possibility. Until we rule out everything, we must consider all possibilities.
Or if it is a witch or a devil, we could try sprinkling holy water from the church upon everyone present. That would force them to
during the service.
Would it not? Mm-hmm. Yes, I see. I will let everyone know that there will be a service soon, around just before sundown. And are you sure you want Erhard to lead it?
Why not? It seems the most voluminous and vehement of us.
I suppose. All right. I hope you know what you're doing. Let me go.
So do I.
He goes out, then he organizes, spends about half an hour basically telling the people and preparing everything for the service and talking to Erhard quietly. Erhard looks quite eager actually. Heads off fairly quickly to prepare.
I'll go and tell the other guys what I'm trying to do. Like draw something out, maybe force the issue rather than just sit around and wait. It just seems pointless.
Yeah, agreed.
Okay.
Whether it will work or not, I don't know. But I have an inkling that the beast is amongst us.
All right. So as darkness starts drawing closer, about maybe half an hour before nightfall, 6 o'clock at night or so, everyone who's here basically, it's only about 20 people, maybe a bit over 20 people in total, assembles within the small chapel, except for Hagen, who is not here. The abbot just says, if any one of you raises the issue, he just says, I can't, he can't, he doesn't want to come out of his room. I don't know. I can't force him. I understand.
Well, if it is him, he's a very good
gather for church.
Sorry?
These people are starting to get together for church?
Yeah, everyone's gathering in front of you.
When they gather, I'm going to go and grab my things and take the horse.
Yeah, the one that you still have.
Yeah, and I'm gonna leave.
So you guys see him getting ready, clutching all of his weapons and everything and saddling the horse?
Well,
I'm not going to tell them. I'll tell them that I have to go take a crap.
Well, I mean, the whole monastery like area is not that large. So if you're getting a horse ready, it's very hard to avoid being seen. Let's put it that way. Unless you want to like try to jump the horse over the fence at the back or something like that.
Oh, aren't they in the chapel?
Oh, not yet. No. Oh, you're waiting until they're in. Okay, yeah, you can do that. That you can do. Yes.
That's what I want to do. Yeah.
Yeah. Now at the moment they're just gathering in front of the chapel. But yeah, once the people are starting in, you say, "Okay, I'll be right back," and you get the horse. Sure.
I've been playing this character of the sort that it just feels like the right move.
All right, go for it. Now, everyone's assembling in the church now, and Erhard is sort of climbing up onto well, not climbing up, but like standing behind the altar. The other three monks sitting on like in the front row on those benches. They're kneeling. The people in church here, they're not sitting. These are not benches for sitting. They're benches you kneel on. Very narrow, like very low benches.
I'd like to be somewhere near the front where I can actually see people's faces while they're saying the Lord's Prayer or whatever.
Sure, you can take a spot in the first row, and then sort of, if you look back, you can see the congregation behind you, more or less. Where's the rest of you guys, or the two of you guys? Where are Gunther and where is Guy?
Gunther will be with Volkmar, I reckon.
Okay, and
Yeah.
Guy?
I would be in the back because I have been studied until relatively right before, and I heard there was something, and I just more or less entered the chapel as everything started.
Okay, yeah. So
I'm standing up.
You enter.
I'm standing up
as Marcus leaves. Basically, you sort of cross each other in the doorway.
Cross, and just give him a weird look and.
Okay. Erhard stands up and says, "In these dark times, these times that the Lord has chosen us for proving our faith, the strength of our will and the strength of our dedication to the Lord and his teachings, the strength of our dedication to our Holy Mother, the Church, and our Holy Father, who there is in heaven. In these dark times we have gathered here, in the church built by Peter of Wilhelm, the founder of this monastery. Many have fled, but we have remained, we who are strong in faith. And I tell you, this is the proving time. The Lord has seen your sins, all of our sins. And the only way to avoid his wrath, his burning sword, is to repent, to throw ourselves at his feet and pray for mercy. Repent. There is much here that the Lord dislikes. There is paganism. There are things that are befouling this very ground amongst us. As it was the time of our founder, so it is now. You have seen the troll stones, the giant stones. And you all know that there are weird gatherings in the caves. There are pagan rituals being held. In fact, I believe there is a holy day for these pagans tomorrow. And I am sure the Lord is punishing us for allowing them to continue. I say, if there are pagans amongst you, if there are those amongst you whose hearts do not belong solely to our Holy Mother, the Church, and our Holy Father, who there is in heaven, now is your time to repent. And if you do not, the holy burning sword of our Lord will smite you down. and it has smitten down those who have sinned. One of the men, one of the two younger men, jumps up and says, "Are you saying the children, that they were sinners? That the Lord killed them because of that? Is that what you're saying?" And he sort of starts moving towards Erhard in a fairly aggressive manner. Erhard sort of raises his hands. "No, that is not what I'm saying. I am saying that the Lord punishes us by taking our children away, punishes you by taking your children away, just as he did with the Pharaoh." The man stops, and Elise walks up to him, starts sort of whispering to him quietly and calming him down, turns and sits back or kneels back down. The abbot looks over to you, Volkmar, with a nervous gaze and sort of looking at you expectantly.
During that outburst, what were the other people doing?
Sorry?
During the outburst, what were other people's reactions?
Looking around, let's see. I believe there is an insight. Yes, there is an insight. Roll me an insight check.
I would have looked at the crowd too from behind.
Like, you're behind them, so you can't really see their faces.
Yeah, but how they react, how they move.
That is true. You can do an insight check. For you, it will be a hard one, though, so you'll have to roll half your insight. And Gunther is also here, so I'm assuming you're also keeping an eye on the crowd, sort of thing.
Yeah, but I rolled a miserable 84.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not my day today. Failed again.
I've passed.
Excellent. So
14. Yep.
he's standing in the back, looking around, and you do see when Erhard is shouting these things about like paganism and caves and rituals and giant stones and such. You do see that several people, especially those who are sitting more towards the back, are sort of exchanging quick glances, and some of them seem more perturbed by the whole thing than necessary. Or maybe you're not sure. They seem perturbed, let's put it that way. There's something going on.
I'll take note of that person and will probably gather who they are once everything's out, once everything's stopped.
All right. Yeah, you do. So the two that you already know that were sort of exchanging glances are Annalise and an older fella that you have spoken to a couple times. You don't know his name. And then there's two others that were also sort of looking, sort of a group of four that were looking amongst themselves. One of them is an older man, and the other one's some sort of an older, fairly old woman.
Okay.
The abbot comes over, or sort of slides over, sort of on the bench to you, Volkmar, and says, "No, I think this has gone long enough. Don't you think? Or you don't know in this holy house of God."
Yes, we do not want confrontation in here. If you could gesture to our heart to wind things up.
Right,
Yeah.
he stands and he sort of says, "Thank you, Brother Erhard," and he takes it from here and just more hopefully, basically saying that if you trust in God, He has a plan. The Lord works in mysterious ways. Pray, be good, and everything will turn out for the best. So that's sort of the gist of his talk. Doesn't really help the people much at this moment, but he's at least trying to calm them down a bit. And then at the end, he does take a small sort of a cup of holy oil and walks through the group and sort of touches, including every single present person with just his fingers thinking them in and sort of touching them at the forehead. And he seems a bit nervous that he's doing that, as if he's expecting that like one of them would turn into demon or something. But nothing. And he, at the end, he walks over to you guys and says, "Where's your friend, the one with the armor?"
He's gone. He's not here.
He hasn't. I didn't think he's been here all the whole service. You don't think he has something to do with the whole thing?
I seriously doubt that. He must have some reason for being absent.
I hope nothing has happened to him.
Yes.
Well,
If something happened to someone, I think the better thing it would have been to him. Because
Quite follow.
in a good way, because he can fight.
well, I only have my small knife. I can't really defend myself, but he can.
I see what you mean. Right then, well, let's look for him. It's dark. We should light the place up, torches and lanterns and such.
At first, I'll ask for the name of the different people
Okay.
I've noticed.
Yeah.
Because just as a conversation, yeah.
Yep.
Because I wasn't really there when they were.
Yeah. So the old guy's name, the one you talked to a couple times, is Jacob. Annalise, you already know. The older woman her name is Tamara, and the other older fella is Lucas.
Okay.
So jumping over to Mr. Marcus, who rode away on his horsey boy. So where is Marcus going?
I'm leaving. This place is full of supernatural dangers, and nobody seems to have an honest clue. I'm a simple soldier. I'm getting the hell out of here.
What, like you're just like leaving?
Leaving, yeah. It's
Okay.
funny that I wrestled with that idea for a little while. Just out of character, I wrestled with the idea, but it really came to the point where I went, that seems like the right move.
Okay. I suppose Marcus is deserted and just ran off.
Remember that Marcus was a deserter originally. It goes well with him.
I suppose, yeah. Great. So
I'm gonna tune in later and find out what happens.
excellent. Okay. So 1 down, 3 to go, I suppose.
Take care, you guys.
See ya, Scott. Okay. That was
Wow.
So you look around for Marcus.
Yeah.
You realize he's not there, and the horse is missing as well.
Well,
I don't believe it. Why would he abandon us?
let's not mention that.
No. True. Well, my plan failed, I shall say. Shaking my head.
Maybe not. There was some weird behaviors. Annalise and that Jacob definitely are more in the know that perhaps they dare to say. And there's 2 other people, 2
I think
older.
a bad cop with them, eh?
There's 2 other people that we haven't. One called Tamara, and I describe her, and Lucas, that also reacted during that event. So there's definitely people that are worth watching. I may go talk to Annalise.
Yeah, definitely. I think that's a good idea.
Yeah, I think we should
Yeah, I'll
do away with the softly approach now and just
I want to try a couple of stuff.
So everyone, the villagers
So
are gathered.
you can
in circles.
watch.
Monks are now walking around and like lighting lanterns and starting to fire up torches and like hang torches up so that the area around the monastery and sort of the courtyard between the church and the monastery and the stable are fairly well lit.
I'll say to the other two, watch Tamara and Lucas.
Okay.
I'll try to talk with Annalise and perhaps Jacob.
Okay.
Okay. Good luck.
So you walk into the stables.
I'll probably wait for the. We haven't eaten yet.
Yeah, you have. What if we eaten just before the ceremony? This sermon, basically.
No, okay, so I'll walk in the stable.
Okay.
And
You
try
look.
to for Annalise.
She's sitting with. Oh, sorry. She's sitting with Tamara in a corner. They're talking quietly.
Casually walking by, I'll try to listen to what they're saying.
As you do, you can't.
I'm passing by.
You can't really walk by. They're sitting in a corner. So as they see you approach, they turn towards you and stop talking. And Annalise says, "Yes, is there something?"
There's so many things. So many things. So many questions.
Well,
Perhaps answers, but even more question after them.
that sermon certainly didn't help. Brother Erhard is a man filled with fire. I'm not sure it's a good thing.
Fire can cast shadows and reveal stuff behind them.
I suppose.
Oh, sorry. You seemed quite troubled earlier today.
Is that surprising to you?
Well, there's troubled and troubled. There was some moment where you seemed to want to tell something, but you weren't sure.
I'm not quite sure what you mean. Sorry.
I maybe imagine. Yeah, it's hard for us. We just arrived. There's this blood, this massacres going on. I don't know. I'm searching for answer. I'm throwing lines.
I understand. We're all looking for answers. I hope everything will be better tomorrow.
Yeah. More or less on another subject. I haven't been really able to find stuff, but in the library. But do you have legends going around the giant stones?
She gives you a super suspicious look. Why do you ask?
Well, because I'm fascinated by this sort of legends, all these local elements. I've been able to travel a lot. It was a chance and wondrous opportunities, and there's in all regions there's small parts, there's small local myth that sometimes crosses, that other times are really typical for a place.
Well, I mean, I can't really tell you much. I'm sure some of the monks would know more. All that I know, that they're holy places. That there were holy places for pagans, for our holy mother, the church came, right? And that they are they just, I suppose, show that the place that they're standing on is special. They've been carved into over many years by people who lived here before. That's why there's a few of them around. They have faces. I mean, I suppose people believed in all kinds of things back then.
I more or less also turn towards Tamara. And are there still people or rumors that people are maintaining them? Because
Maintaining them? No, of course not. That would be no. That the church would not allow that sort of thing. That's paganism. That's bad.
yeah, but sometimes the church can't really cure old habits. That is, in certain parts of another country, you have paths that are still wandered, that doing an ancient, the reason is lost, but people are still doing it. So
I don't know what you speak of. The church would surely declare such people enemies, wouldn't it? Like witches and such.
some people would, others would let it go because it's not easy to help people if they don't want to be helped, and taking away their habits, so what they feel as protection, isn't always a solution. Church is here to...
Annalise says, so you believe in these things? You think these pagan things, they have some sort of power?
No, but I believe that it helps people to believe it does.
I don't quite understand.
People are weird. You have sometimes you'll make really stuff that would seem completely illogical decision, but it's something that has always been with you.
That is a weird thing to say as a man of the church. Forgive me, I shouldn't have said that. It's not important. Is there anything we can do for you? I'm afraid that's all we can tell you about.
No, it's been a good discussion.
All right. Well, you know where to find us if there's anything else.
Stay safe.
And you? As you, Gunther and Volkmar, as you're standing outside the stables, Valdemar, the cook, comes up to you guys, and he says, "Forgive me, I don't think I'll be able to sleep tonight. Is there anything I can help you with? Should we post some watches or something? I don't." The abbot wants us to pray through the night, but to be perfectly honest, I think one or two people praying is enough. The Lord can't hear one voice, and my voice added won't change much.
Can I do an insight check just to see how sincere he is?
Certainly, yeah.
Okay. Nope, I don't make it.
It's hard to say. He's certainly nervous, but I mean, everyone is.
Yeah. I'll just say to Volkmar, it's just very strange that he's offering his services all of a sudden. I just find that very suspicious.
You are aware of that, right?
Yeah.
I beg your pardon?
If you say that to Volkmar, Valdemar, who's standing right in front of you, will also hear that.
Oh no, I mean I'd use my discretion. You know, when
Right.
when we have a certain privacy.
Right. So you're not answering. So you're not
Yeah.
talking. Like you're not saying anything to Voldemort. You just like tell him to fuck off, basically.
Well, we will give you a call. We have not decided on watches at the moment, but we'll certainly include you.
Well, that's the least I can do.
Thank you for your offer.
Of course. He wanders away.
Yeah, everyone is being strange.
Yeah, I mean that was very strange. Why come out of the blue and offer your services like that?
Yeah, why? Why would anyone do that?
Well, perhaps he wants to step into Marcus's footsteps. Oops. Be the fourth member.
No, I cannot just follow. I'll follow him, the cook, around.
Sure, you can. You're not the most inconspicuous of people, but you can certainly try.
Yeah, I mean, just
Let's see. That would be a sneak check.
Okay. Let me see what can I do here. Come on. Oh my god. No, I fail.
Okay, so you follow him. He sort of walks up to the front part of the fence and just sort of looking out down onto the dark village, out into the darkness. He turns and he sees you standing there. You're sort of trying to nonchalantly sort of like just be casually hanging out, but you're clearly not fooling him. He sort of says, yes, have you found a spot for me or something?
We're still talking about it. Thanks very much.
Of course.
Has Guy returned to us?
Oh, I'm assuming he will. He's not just gonna like stand
Yeah.
there staring at Voldemort
Standing.
awkwardly. Like,
Yeah.
No, I've returned. I've come back.
in case you all meet somewhere in the corner of the courtyard.
Well, did you find anything out, Guy?
May have some answer, but it's unveiled even more question. I think we'll have to watch this night. Tomorrow at dawn, it's going to be a first big dangerous moment.
So we have 4 people to watch.
Excuse me.
We have 17 people to watch.
Voldemort, yeah. Well, at least we have one less to worry about.
Yeah.
The horse got away.
That is correct. You don't have any more horses.
Yeah. Well, I'll think it's best if we set up watches tonight with every help we can get.
Okay.
Yeah. Arrange them so that none of our suspicious persons are on the same watch together.
So,
Well, we're
the abbot.
enough to avoid having only one person watching all at any moment. We can work with teams.
So the abbot is going to spend the night in the church praying for guidance and protection. Everyone else is available for watches. So you have, as I said, about a dozen villagers. You have those are two fairly young armed men, basically, and then you have the 3 monks: Benjamin the healer, Valdemar the cook, and Erhard the preacher. And of course, you 3. So it's up to you guys how you want to like position watches, how many people, and so on. The night lasts pretty much exactly 12 hours.
Well, split it up into 3. Each of us will be on a watch.
So three watches of 8 for 4 hours each, basically.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah,
You
nice and easy.
have just if really all villagers want, or if a couple don't really care.
I mean, if you say you're going to take a watch, then everyone's going to say yes. No, there's not too many, like especially the women and the elderly are not going to necessarily like offer to take watches. But if you say,
Yeah, I'm just taking people that offers it before and see before asking.
well, the only one that offered so far was Valdemar, and the two guys, the two men, like the two last remaining men of the village, have also offered, of course.
We'll work by pairs. That would be better, I think.
Yeah, you have 6 people. If you only take you guys, the 3 of you, Valdemar, and the 2 others, that's 6 people.
Yeah, we'll do that.
I'll propose to the people that they're sleeping in the stables, right?
The monks are sleeping, of course, in the monastery, in their cells.
Yeah, but
And the people are sleeping. You get the feeling that not too many people are going to be.
yeah, I'll propose that we'll stay and watch on the outside. But if you want you to have people responsible to set up a watch inside the stables.
Okay.
Yeah, separate from ours.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, they can have like one person staying awake inside the stable.
Yeah, one person responsible, and so they can they have their moments they have to watch, and after they can rest and decompress on that.
Yeah, certainly.
And we'll be patrolling more or less.
Okay, so who wants to take first watch with which one of the NPCs?
Gunther will take the first watch.
Okay, Gunther takes the first watch. Who you want to take with you?
What are my options?
You can either take one of the 2 farmers or Valdemar.
Yeah, I'll take Waldemar. There's something weird about him.
Yeah. They can make some omelets and things, can't they?
Being helpful and cooking stuff. It's weird.
Yeah. Okay, who takes?
I'll take second.
Fair enough.
Okay. You and one of the farmers?
Yeah, and
All right.
I'll spend a couple of hours in the library, but searching randomly and not just reading stuff, not
So you're not
searching stuff.
actually on watch. You're in the library.
Yeah,
Okay.
I can work on 4 hours of sleep when I have.
Yeah, you
moments
can.
to-
Sure, certainly. Oh, sorry. You mean you're awake during like before?
First watch.
Right. I see.
First watch, I'm working, and then I'm.
I see. I thought you meant during.
No,
your
all night. No.
I see. Okay. Okay, which means that the last watch is Gunther. Sorry, Volkmar, and the younger one of the 2 fellas, 2 farmers.
Yeah.
All right. What are you Is there anything specific you're researching in the library, Guy?
Nah, I'm reading different stuff about
Okay.
chronicles and stuff like this. It's purely to distract myself.
Anything specific? Any specific time period or anything in the chronicles?
No, it's purely to distract myself.
Okay. Okay, so the night has fallen. Everyone had dinner. People are still restless, but slowly but surely over the course of the next 2 hours or so, everyone's starting to settle down to sleep to get some strength for the next day, whatever it might bring. Guy goes to the library, starts rummaging through the chronicles. And give me a quick spot hidden check, please, Guy.
Spot hidden. Where is it? There.
Fortmar goes to sleep, tries to.
Nah, 4% over failure.
Give me a a sanity check, please, Volkmar. And Gunther, you give me also a spot hidden check.
Okay.
I failed.
Okay.
Succeeded at the sanity.
Okay. So
That's the only one I've been
use one
succeeding
more
at.
point of sanity.
1
As
point.
again, you have the same dreams, although they are stronger this time.
Right.
I succeed, Alex.
You succeed. Excellent. So, while you are, so do you want to like take a specific position, or are you patrolling around? What are you doing during your watch?
Yeah, I'll be patrolling.
Okay, so just circling basically the perimeter sort of thing,
Yeah.
right? Okay.
Yeah.
So as you do, you walk around. As I said, about 2 hours pass. Half your watch or so is over. And then eventually, Valdemar is mostly sitting around close to the stables. He's keeping an eye on things, like on the stables and the outside of the monastery. He just does. He's wielding a knife, but he doesn't look like he can use one very well. It's chubby.
Yeah.
He's just looks a bit nervous. Stands up, walks a few steps here and there, and sits back down. You're sort of keeping an eye on him. And then in sort of the middle of the 3rd hour of your watch or so it's about maybe around, maybe not midnight by any means, it's like 10 o'clock maybe at night or so. You see where the exit is, the sort of the gate of the fence.
Yeah.
You see some movement in the darkness out there, like a small movement just past there. You see a small quick dash or something through the fence.
Coming towards us?
No, it sort of seems to be crossing past the gate, basically. Going sort of right to left.
I move closer towards it.
Okay.
Just by the way, I've got like a whistle, I think.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sure.
Just in case I need to sound the alarm.
As you do,
Or a bell. Yeah.
come closer, you could hear a scratching sound. Sounds like someone or something, maybe an animal, is scratching at a part of the fence on the outside in the darkness.
Can I shine my lantern towards it?
Okay, so you're sort of looking over the fence now, and as you do start like raising your lantern, you see something small just scuttling away into the darkness. You just see a quick movement. You didn't get a good look, but it kind of looked like a child to you. But you only got a really quick glimpse as it scuttled away when your light approached.
I'll kind of sound the alarm.
Okay, so you just start whistling.
After the kid.
Sorry, what again? What do you say?
So I'll sound the alarm and I'll chase after the kid.
Okay, so you just start whistling to like whistle twice or 3 times, and then you leap over the fence and run after this, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Okay. So you guys, well, you can hear it. Let's see. Actually, no. Volkmar, you are in the midst of this nightmare and you do not hear the whistle. However, because Guy is awake, you can hear it quite distinctively, a whistling sound coming from outside of the quick, like 2 bursts of a whistle. What do you want to do?
I'll probably go outside and try to see if I see something, because
Okay.
you just ran into the dark.
You see, looking around, you see basically as you see, well, you're carrying a lantern, right, Gunther?
Yes.
So you can see Gunther's shape with a lantern in hand, maybe like a sword drawn or something. He's outside of the fence. He's pushed open the door and he's running away, like towards, sort of downhill, basically, towards the village, into the darkness, more or less.
I'll call for him because there's one thing of ringing the alarm. There's also saying what's happening.
Okay, so what do you call?
I call his name.
Okay, so
Try to
Gunther,
stop him.
you hear Guy's voice behind him shouting your name.
I say, Guy, excuse me. Say, Guy, come with me. There's a little child running around out here.
Okay, Valdemar, who's sort of standing at the sort of open door of the stables, protecting it, he says, "I'll be here. Go."
Yeah, we need Volkmar too. I'll go raise him up. Just watch out, because if it's run away, I'll go wake Volkmar.
Well, that will take a while. I mean, you'll take at least 30 seconds or so, I'd say, to run back and wake him up.
Yeah, but I want to do that because
Okay, sure, you can do that.
running one after the other in the dark, that seems like a great idea for a horror movie.
So he runs back inside, and Gunther, what are you doing? You don't see the shape now anymore, but you know which direction it moved.
I'll tell him to wait for us because.
Okay.
I'll just carry on running in the direction.
Okay, cool. Give me a spot hidden check. The last thing you see is Gunther's just running downhill away, and then he disappears from you.
Yeah, I succeed.
All right. So what you see is there are prints that you're following, small footprints in the mud. It's been raining a little bit, like a few drops here and there. The ground is a bit muddy. You are following it down, and at the same time,
human footprints.
You'd say, although they are not. You think they're bare feet, not like shoes or anything like that. They're child size, from what you can tell.
Okay.
Guy is basically is now hammering against the cell where Gunther is. Where Volkmar is sleeping, and when you now wake up, you're like,
What? What is it?
Groggy.
Gunther found something and probably did something stupid.
Wait! I'll just throw on my coat.
Yeah.
Okay. Grab your coat.
And I think it will be best to bring people with us too.
Right. I'll wake up one of the two farmers, the one that would have been on watch with me.
I'll probably wake up. Go.
Okay, so you walk towards the stables, and as you see that the stable doors are open, but there doesn't seem to be anyone on guard there. You look inside, and you can see everyone's sleeping. One of the farmers, is sort of slumped against the wall, his head hanging down, quietly snoring.
Do a quick head count.
There's someone missing. One of the women is missing.
That's not how you do a watch, Gunther.
Okay, now jumping back to Gunther. You have followed the footprints for about maybe 100 yards or so downhill. Yeah. And now you see in front of you, there's all of a sudden, from the darkness in front of you, there comes a small rock flying out. Skitters in front of your feet. And then you can hear a voice saying, "Now, I am impressed. You're quite fast for such a fat man."
Yeah, I think Gunther did something stupid.
It's the same voice that you've heard in the forest, or at least this very similar voice.
So
not quite human, although it speaks German.
So I shine the lantern around.
Okay. You see, just at the edge of the light, there's a small humanoid shape standing on like one of the rocks on the side. There's like a little cliff, and it's standing at the very edge. sort of more hunched forward on the rock. You can only see like a shape. It's still covered in shadow.
I'll move a little closer.
As you do, the figure steps back and it says, Nyctelios is coming. Prepare yourself. And it leaps backwards down the cliff. You run up, shining the lantern into the darkness, and you can just hear like in the darkness, and then nothing.
All right. I'm pretty freaked out. Do I have to make a sanity check?
Yes, you do.
Okay. Sanity check. Here we go. Yeah, I fail.
No, you fail. You lose 3 points of sanity as you're like hyperventilating, and you're like, what the fuck? Basically, like sweating profusely. The lantern in your hand is shaking, the light like dancing on the rocks around you, and you realize that you're alone here now. No one close by in the night.
I will. I'll head back to the monastery as quickly as possible.
Just like stumbling up, looking around, pale-faced and sweaty, and you do see the monastery, and yeah, you sort of run into the through the door that you have left open, like the outside gate of the fence. So while this is happening, what are Guy and Volkmar doing?
Who was supposed to guard here?
Before waking up the former, I want to look for the cook because he was there.
Yeah, you saw him standing in the stable, like in the door, basically, but about a minute or two, maybe 2 minutes ago or so. You look around for Valdemar. You don't see him anywhere. He's not in the stables, and he's not anywhere outside, from what you can tell. You can, however, see now Gunther coming up, looking very nervous and like gazing around, and, like looking back as if something's chasing him. He's walking very fast, like nearly running.
I'm annoyed, but I'm not sure it would be something that my character would do.
The door to the church opens, a bit of light shines out, and the abbot sticks his head out. Says, "What's going on? Everything all right?"
I'll go up to Guy.
Okay.
And I'll tell him if he can research Nyctelios. That strange voice said Nyctelios is coming.
I would punch him.
Okay. So he just sort of slaps you, basically. Or like bitch slaps you across the face.
Really? Okay. I'll smash him back, and I've got a fist of 60%.
Okay, cool. So as you sort of, it stings. It doesn't really hurt. Guy's not a super strong guy. Just more, but it's definitely humiliating. And you're like already fairly on edge. So just strike back. Roll me a fists attack.
Yeah, I did. 24.
That hits. So Guy, you can now try to block with one of your unarmed attacks, or you can dodge.
Guy would probably dodge.
Okay, then roll me a dodge check.
Right. Just I need to change the value because I had a dodge of 0, so that couldn't be possible.
No, your dodge is double your dexterity.
Yeah. I succeed.
Okay. Gunther goes for a hook punch, basically, but in the spur of the moment, he slips a bit in the mud, and Guy stumbles backwards, and the fist just goes whoosh, past your face. And Volkmar just standing there watching this.
You had one task. I'll say quietly. It was protecting this place.
What is going on here? The abbot comes rushing towards you now.
I'll I'll grab Gunther and head toward the abbot because the library was over there.
Yeah. I'll stop the abbot with a hand on his chest.
Volkmar, you need to watch the... Someone needs to watch his table.
Mm-hmm.
What is going on?
Silence, abbot.
Not there.
What?
I don't know what's going on. Gunther might be able to tell us, but I'm not sure it's good to do that now, in the open.
Find your cook, abbot.
Brother Valdemar?
Find him.
What? He must be in his cell, I suppose. I'll look for him.
Good. Make yourself
Volkmar,
busy.
Volkmar, can you take the watch?
I'll be right back. He heads over to the monastery. It's the monastery proper.
Volkmar, can you take the watch?
Yes, I will.
Don't wake the people inside yet.
It strikes you as slightly odd that they're still asleep after the whistling and everything, but I suppose Volkmar didn't wake up either.
Yeah. I've more or less gathered that there's something weird happening. But I haven't really thought about that yet.
Have you told anyone about your counting?
About?
About your counting, your head count? You're the only one who did that. So.
Not yet.
Okay.
Because I want to call basically to while I will do research, I'll basically ask Gunther what he saw. Before I will scold him because he just ran away in the night while he was supposed to watch people here. And I'll start doing my research and saying, because now we lost someone. Thanks to you.
Just do the research for Cantalion is coming.
The abbot comes back and says, I don't know where Brother Valdemar is. I haven't seen him anywhere. He's not in the kitchen. He's not in his room.
I'll probably ask the abbot to help me saying the name Nictarios.
Yes, that's not sounds Greek or something to me. But
yes.
I haven't never heard of his name before. Why is it important?
Ask him.
Brother Valdemar is gone. Was he taken?
He's not the only one. Can I do a library check?
What do you mean? Well, yeah, you can, but a library check like half an hour or so. That's not something you can do like within.
Yeah, but
what do you mean he's not the only one? Someone else disappeared.
Yes. Explain yourself, Gunther. Explain what you saw.
Who else is gone?
Gunther.
I saw like a little child. He had that demon voice, and he said that Cantalion is coming.
A child? You saw a child, a demon child, some sort of demon.
Yeah, it definitely gave me the scares.
And it took Brother Valdemar and someone else?
No, it just ran by itself, but it said Cantalion is coming, very menacingly.
I don't know what that means.
Maybe
who else is missing?
Who was it?
One of the women.
I didn't gather that name before.
No, you would not have.
One of the women, not Annalise, not Tamara, but...
One of the younger ones?
Yes.
Clara or Julia? Wait, he rushes into the...
Do not wake them.
Why? Why not? What? Maybe someone saw what happened. I mean, why are they all asleep?
I don't know. Everybody's asleep. There's something weird going on. There's something more. So it can have been poisoned. They may have been poisoned. It may have been
Here's the cook.
the cook. It could have been anything.
I don't understand. What
Me
are we
neither.
supposed to do?
Watch. We need to watch.
Watch what?
Give me an hour to search something to try to find an answer. Try if you want.
I don't understand.
Me neither.
I-
Me
I-
neither. But I need an hour
I'll get the
to
remaining
try to
brothers.
figure stuff.
I'll get the remaining brothers. Okay, so while
Just say you need to watch more, and I'll try to explain something. Or if I don't, I'll have failed.
okay, so while the abbot is going to get Brother Benjamin and Brother Erhard, what are Gunther and Volkmar doing?
I'll be searching for the cook.
Okay,
Volkmar will just be standing by the stable, looking in occasionally,
okay.
expecting trouble.
The people are still asleep. They seem to be sleeping deeply, and I'm perturbed.
Go to the one nearest to me
Mm-hmm.
and just bend down, crouch down over them, and just have a look, a listen, see if there's anything unusual. Are they sweating? Is there?
The man is asleep quite deeply. His chest is rising and falling. His breathing is quite even. His facial muscles are relaxed, just leaning against the wall, the head hanging down. He's quietly snoring. Basically. He does not wake when you sort of step up to him.
Okay.
Gunther, you look around, but Valdemar is nowhere to be found. You look into the shed, you look into the stables, you look into the church, and you quickly walk through the monastery. He's not there.
Is there any like footprints around where he was?
I mean, there's a lot of footprints in the courtyard. There's a lot of people being you and the other guys walking around. But you can give me what is that called in Call of Cthulhu? A tracking check.
Let me see. Tracking. Oh no. Okay.
You can probably not
10%.
invest in that sort of thing.
No, I don't make it.
No, there's tracks everywhere.
Yeah.
The whole courtyard is filled with tracks.
Then I think I'll join Volkmar.
Okay. The abbot, Brother Benjamin, and Brother Erhard are just hanging around outside now as well, quietly talking amongst themselves, looking very nervous now that, or what they think at least, Brother Valdemar has been taken. They look quite afraid, like gazing out into the darkness. Brother Erhard eventually goes over very quickly to the gate and closes the gate again. Once comes running back.
Gunther, look at these. They look like they're drugged.
Well, it makes sense. If the cook's got something to do with it, he's obviously put something in the food.
So, is there another way out? Back door?
There is none, actually. There is only the front gate. I mean, you could climb over the fence. It's not very hard. The fence only like maybe 6 foot high or so. But it's like not something you can do like super quickly. And Valdemar isn't a particularly athletic person. He's a fairly chubby guy.
There was a well, wasn't there?
There was a well, yes. The well's in the shed.
It's a long shot, but let's go and have a look at the well.
Yeah. Okay.
So you shine your lantern into the well. You can see a little bit of water on the bottom. That's all you can see. Okay. Guy is in the library and trying to find a name. Roll me a library use check. What did you roll? Can't hear you.
I rolled a 14.
That is a success. So after about half an hour or so, you do actually find in one of the sort of books on legends and such, you do find mention of that name, Nyctelios the Shatterer. It is a spirit or something like that, some sort of thing that was worshipped before. Supposedly, it's a spirit of some sort of old mountain or something. And it is a spirit that is worshipped to be placated, to stay away. That's pretty much what you find. It's not a very long entry.
Yeah, but I know it's definitely not something you want to accept on your door.
That is correct. It's not like that.
And yeah, I would probably gather that the Titan stone, the giant stone, would have tied to that.
Maybe it's hard to
Yeah,
say. There's no specific mentions or anything like that.
Yeah, it's a possibility.
It's definitely a possibility. Yeah.
Yeah, I would conclude that. Oh. And as I come out, I'll think, Gunther, you'll have to explain yourself. And as I go back to the others, I'll say, well, it's definitely something not good. And I basically explain the context, what we're possibly facing.
Okay.
And I'll say, now, Gunther, if you would like to, if you could, I think you'll need to explain yourself to everyone here. Are they still sleeping?
Yes.
Drugged.
Hey?
No, I've just looked into the stable and saw probably that.
They are still asleep, yeah.
Okay, that's even weirder. I think we'll need to wake them up now. We know what we're facing.
Yeah. Valdemar has his next victim.
So, Gunther, you didn't trust Voldemar.
No, just got like a bad feeling about him.
Well, you just left him alone with possibly every target possible while you just run into the night just shouting something.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
Great. Good plan.
Now, what are we supposed to do now? Are we going to go look for Valdemar or?
Yeah, but it's no use to go look one after the others and be target in the night. Let's wake everyone up and go as a group. Because someone has been taken.
All right.
Yeah.
You start waking torches, and it's pretty hard to wake them. It's like they're pretty groggy, but you manage to eventually. It takes you a good hour probably to wake all of them. You just basically have to splash water into their faces and all that, and eventually they do do start to stir, and once they are awake, they are fairly wide awake. Like they don't.
As they wake up, can I ask about if they had weird dreams?
They did actually. Yes, they did have weird dreams. They just remember like rocks bathed in blood, and like a cross, a large cross of stone falling over, and like just like a storm or a landslide or something, like a loud noise, basically. And then when they realize that Julia is gone, they get pretty panicky. And one of the guys, the one that you were inspecting before, Volkmar, says, "I don't understand. I must have fallen asleep. I was supposed to stay awake."
I'm not sure. It's our fault.
I think you were drugged. But I point at Annalise and the other three suspects. You people need to tell us now. Otherwise...
What? We need to tell you what? You think we have something to do with this?
Tell us. I'll be as menacingly as I possibly can. Tell us everything. Now.
Okay. Give me a... Let me see. Well, it's either a persuade. Could be you could use status for this if you prefer that.
No.
I think that's pretty much.
Yeah. Persuade then. That would be... Just.
You succeeded?
Yes.
She says, "Look, we don't have anything to do with this. I don't know what you want me to tell you. We were asleep, like everyone else."
Not at this. You know what I mean.
All right, I suppose. Sure. Yeah. Let's. She sort of steps aside a bit. Everything's fine. She just nods to the others. They look quite worried. She says, so quietly to you, Volkmar, and whoever else might be close by, "Look, we're pagans, all right? But we have nothing to do with this. We're worshipping the Earth Mother. She's like Maria, the Holy Mother, right? Just in a different guise. We were asking her for protection, but it didn't seem to work very well. The last time we had the earthquake, and then this time all the murders are happening. I don't know what's happening. You must believe me. We have nothing to do with this. I wouldn't endanger my own daughter or have her killed."
Well, we shall see. This will be in my report.
We'll need...
have to pray to your Earth Mother for salvation when the church finds out.
I don't care about what the church will find out. I do care about the people living here.
What are we going to do about Julia? We have to find her before she is killed.
We'll try to go in a search, but we'll need to go together. Because if we split up,
where? We tried searching. The men searched for days. We only found bodies.
She can't.
Yep.
She can run far. She can be far.
Right. What was she? When did she disappear?
Gunther, explain yourself.
I think I'm gonna just punch Gear again. He's getting on my nerves. So hang on a second.
Go for it. Roll me a fist attack.
Yeah, I got a 35.
That's a hit.
Yeah.
Guy, dodge check.
I've got an 18. That's a success.
Okay, as Gunter goes once more for a punch, he who already has expected this just takes a few quick steps backwards, and Gunter's fist just goes whoosh through the air.
Gunter, leave him. He's just baiting you.
Yeah, and this time I'll pull out my knife and I'll say one more word.
Annalise is looking wide-eyed at you, as it like between you. What are you doing?
Everyone is on edge. It is. We must pull together. Everyone, grab torches.
One of the guy you talked to before goes, I remember. It was Valdemar. Annalise looks at him and says, What do you mean? He came in when we heard the whistle. He came in and he was talking to Julia, and I called out to him to ask what's going on, and he looked at me, and that's the last thing I remember. Where is he? And people are like now starting to, what? It was one of the monk? No way, that couldn't be. And they're like starting to talk amongst each other. It's this angry, confused, fearful hubble bubble of voices.
Be quiet.
Everyone quiets down.
You two, you three, torches. The rest of you, get yourself together. Find some arms. Annalise, where are the holy places of paganism around here? Where might he have gone?
There's a few caves around.
Caves.
Yes.
Caves.
We have, yes. We have checked all of them.
Earhart mentioned caves. Where is he? Is he with us?
Yeah, he's like standing off to the side with the abbot and Brother Benjamin.
You mentioned caves in your sermon.
Yes, caves where pagans hide.
There are some nearby. We must go there.
Annalise says, I don't think we've checked them. That we thought that might be wherever whoever's doing this is hiding, but none of the caves has been used recently.
This ritual are opposed to their rituals. It's a work of their devil. I would say for the moment we going down on paganism. The enemy of my enemy is my friend. We need to work together.
Well, whatever we can do to help. We want this to stop as well.
Okay, so where would you suggest we look, Guy? For a devil.
Gunther, you mentioned tracks.
Yeah, I could show them the child's tracks.
I wouldn't call that a child.
While you're talking, there's an ever so gentle rumble. Just for a second or two, as the ground, just a little bit, has a small shake. And everyone stops, like looking at each other. The abbot says, "Did you feel that? It felt like an earthquake. But that's impossible. We don't have any earthquakes here. We never had any earthquakes here."
If you tell me that a week ago, perhaps tonight, it could perfectly be one.
And Elise says, that was kind of like what I felt on the last holy day, half a year ago. Only that one was a bit stronger, the one that I felt back then.
It is just the beginning.
Yeah.
Abbott, is Hakon still in the cells?
I suppose I haven't checked on him.
We need him too. He's the tracker.
He is.
We've discovered who is responsible for his grief.
Yeah.
You don't think it's actually Brother Voldemar?
Brother Voldemar may have been an accomplice.
What? I don't believe. But I find that hard to believe.
It's not the time to believe.
So,
Time for action.
It's a time of action.
well, you can go talk to Hagen, I suppose. I don't know if you can shake him out of his...
I'll go.
Okay.
I'll be organising everyone into a hunting party.
Yeah, right. People are like grabbing torches. People are afraid. You don't get the feeling that you can really like trust in these people. If anything bad happens, you get the feeling they are more likely to just run. But at the moment, as they are in a group, like clutching whatever weapons or torches they can find, they are at least try to give an appearance of bravery.
Good thing is,
Safety in numbers.
good thing we have only to manage 12 people.
So you go and find the cell that Hagen is staying in, a cell of Ludwig.
Hi.
It's quiet in there.
Do I hear something?
No? It's quiet in the cell. I mean, you're outside the door, but
Yeah, I'll open the door.
okay. Push the door open, and Hagen's face comes up, and you can see he's been sitting, leaning against the side of the bed, sitting on the floor, and he's playing with something that looks like a braid or of some kind, just in his hands. And his face is empty. There's no tears. It's just
We have something. We'll need you. We've found a culprit. We'll need you to track him.
what? No one needs me anymore.
We'll need you.
You don't need me.
Your wife and your daughter need you.
You're dead. They're with the Lord now. They don't need me. They're in a better place.
How do I say that? My characters are better stand than me.
Leave me alone.
You can do something for them. You can mourn. The Lord recognizes action.
Too late. I tried finding them, but I couldn't find them. Now they're gone. I'm alone.
You could prevent it happening to others. Other children.
What do you mean?
I'm sorry we've been too late to find anything. But with you, we can prevent what's happening here to happen to other village, to other parents, to other daughters.
What do you mean?
I have a feeling what's happening here may grow bigger if we don't stop it.
Stop it. We stop it how?
I don't have a plan. I just have ideas and ways of entry. But we need to find whoever is behind that and stop them before they do that to others.
How? We already searched everything.
We have tracks clearly pointing to a direction.
Tracks? What kind of tracks?
Small feet, childlike, but I wouldn't call that a child.
What?
I
Slowly stands up.
suspect there's a demon taking the form of a child to blind our spirit.
A demon? You want me to track a demon? You think that demon is responsible for what happened to my treatment?
Yes, and I think if you
Yeah.
stay here, the Lord, while he accepted your daughters and wife, might refuse you. You stay here mourning, but action will be recognized by him. You're just like me. We don't have a lot to lose, except our life, except our...
Nothing. I have nothing to lose. Show me these tracks. He stands up. Puts the keepsake away. Pushes past
outside.
the corridor. You lead him outside. He sort of blinks in the torchlight outside. Tugs on his beard. What tracks? What?
And Gunther just left, so that's probably the tracks of the childlike.
You want me to lead? You want to lead him down where Gunther saw the?
Yeah, and probably because it rained recently.
Yep.
So there's probably also fresher tracks. If I will ask him if he can see fresher tracks of people that have walked away.
Yes, sure.
Basically that, because we have the childlike creatures and there should be the cook and the woman that left.
Okay. He follows the tracks of the child thing fairly easily, but they only lead to like a cliff, and he looks down and says, I don't know. It comes down here. I can't follow that.
Yeah, there should be also tracks of a man and a woman leaving the monastery.
There's no tracks of a man or a woman here.
No, near the entrance.
Fresh tracks.
Yeah, fresh tracks from a couple of
Takes
hours
a
away.
Nothing, no. Only our tracks.
I think we'll walk down the road from the monastery and look if we see tracks going away from that.
Okay. Basically. Okay. You spend about 10-15 minutes looking around, but Hagen just shakes his head. This is a waste of time. There's no one here. No one walked this road in the last couple hours.
Could you do a check of the perimeter of the monastery?
Sure, but there's people walking there everywhere.
Yeah.
What am I looking for?
Either a man and a woman, or a man carrying a woman. Heavy footprints.
What man?
The man who said he was your friend for so long. Valdemar.
The cook. I know his footprints. He's a fat man.
Find him.
He's not here. You say
he disappeared.
You say he's the one responsible for this.
He's our prime.
He's tied. He's tied to this.
I'll find him. And he sort of runs up back to the monastery, starts looking around, and he says, yeah, he finds a few prints, but they're a couple of hours old. He just looks around,
makes sense.
walking around the perimeter, and he says, no one left, no one climbed across the wall or anything. You sure they're not here anymore?
No.
We've searched the monastery.
So I'll look around. There's a woman footprints here. Looks like she went into the monastery.
It doesn't make sense. The ceremony.
It does.
The ceremony is in the monastery.
It could be. Let's follow the tracks if we
I
can.
can't follow them inside. Stone floor doesn't leave tracks.
And there's too much mud from us going in and out.
Coming and going all evening, pretty much. So yeah, there's mud.
We still need to search. If we found that, we still need to search the monastery.
So you know
Kitchens.
the sort of, what do you call it,
Crypt?
the ground. God damn it, what's the word? The layer, the outlayer. What's the word? The outline. The sort of the
Floor plan.
Like, you know what rooms in the monastery there
Floor
are.
plan.
Yeah, the floor plan. Yeah, exactly. That's the word I was looking for. So basically, there is a corridor that leads. Oh, Gunther's gone. Okay. So a corridor, and there is the abbot's room that's sort of right at the entrance or close to the entrance, and then there's the library next to the abbot's room, and then there's the sort of dining room and the kitchen, and then on the other side there's a corridor here, and then the other side are all the cells of the monks, and that's pretty much it.
I'll probably start by the kitchen to search for something. A
Okay.
hidden passage.
Give me a spot hidden check, and Hagen will be helping you, and Gunther will also be helping you. I'm guessing, at least.
Yeah. Spotted them. Oh.
$11 success.
Wow.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're looking around, and you see there's a small ladder leading down into a tiny basement, basically, which is like a storage area. The kitchen itself doesn't look anything specific. It's a fairly simple kitchen. And then you climb down there and start looking around the storage area, and you pretty immediately find a sort of sliding print, so to speak, on the ground. The ground here is more of a dirt floor. It's very hard, so there's not many tracks. But you do see it looks like some sort of heavy object was pushed across the ground. And those tracks lead you to a small barrel. Not like one of those massive wine barrels, but it's pretty big. It's like maybe about, 3.5, 4 feet tall.
Okay. Before we try to go in, I would like to gather probably the people that are ready to go in because we found something inside.
Okay, so you call everyone crowd, and the kitchen is now filled up with 15 people or so, just holding weapons, and awkwardly a couple of them are having torches, and the abbot shouts down, what's going on?
Do someone have a weapon for me, because I don't have one?
You don't really have weapons. I mean,
because I only have a small knife.
That's pretty much the best you can get. These are neither the monks nor the farmers really have weapons as such. They have sticks and pitchforks and stuff, but nothing that would be considered a decent weapon as such. No.
I would grab a pitchfork.
So you have a 10% chance to hit with a pitchfork.
Yeah, but it's further away, so logically it's a good thing. You don't go with.
Okay.
I'll stay with my dagger.
Okay, so the two fighters have just left the party.
Yeah, that's fun.
Great. Okay, so Hagen, who is with you, just grabs the side of the barrel and sort of pushes it aside. And behind the barrel, you see there's a crack, basically, not a tunnel as such. It's more like a crack in the wall. It's, however, wide enough for someone to fit through.
Would we be joined by the two younger men?
Sure, yeah, if you want to call them down.
Yeah, because
So
what is the number?
Hagen will not fit through, sadly enough. He's too bulky. He can't fit through that crack. He's a pretty large, white-shouldered fella. But you guys would. Gunther probably would, and the two farmers that are with you also would fit through. Yeah.
Okay.
Hagen, I think you know if anyone come out from here, what you should do to them.
Right.
If it's not us.
He grabs goes up to the kitchen and comes back with like a hatchet, basically, like one of those things that you use for cutting meat, like a butcher's cleaver, basically, and just holds it in his hand. If anyone but you comes out here, I know what to do.
We'll do our best.
Annalise
We'll succeed.
comes up, like shouts down, "Please hurry!"
And we more or less go in.
Okay, so you slowly push your way through this crack. It's tight, but you can fit. Someone of Valdemar's slightly more wider stature would probably also fit, but would he definitely have some issues.
How did the cook fit?
Yeah.
You see that where you are, it seems like a natural tunnel that has been slightly widened artificially. And the tunnel leads sort of diagonally downwards a little bit, and then it seems to be curling up and leading upwards once again. There's a little bit of moisture here, a few drops of water falling down, and you can see there's like muddy prints on the ground everywhere. Fairly fresh ones from the looks of it.
We'll continue probably.
Okay. You follow further, and the tunnel goes up, and it seems to be continuing to go up and up and up and further up, and you get the feeling that you're climbing the hill, basically, on the interior of the hill. There's a few like small pockets that are kind of like tiny rooms, and here and there you find discarded objects, a piece of a monk's robe, in one of those, a fairly muddy-looking rope. And then eventually you come upon what looks to be a slightly larger room, about maybe the size of a medium-sized living room area. And you can see there is a jutting like stalactite hanging from the ceiling. And from that stalactite, there's a rope that's tied around it and then hangs down until maybe about 6-7 feet above the ground. And as you look at that spot, you see there's a lot of like dried blood splashes around here.
I think we found the blood.
There's also, in one corner of the room, there's also several more like pieces of rope and what looks to be dirty cloth, just like ripped open cloth, just lying around on like, on a heap, in a heap.
Yeah. Is there a way out?
Are we seeing anyone?
There is the tunnel continues further up. Yeah.
We don't see anyone in that room.
No, there's no one in this room.
Are you happy going first, Guy? I will hold the lantern.
Yeah, I think if we, for whatever reason, once come out, we'll need to have one of the farmers. If you gather where we are, you'll go run to the monastery and bring Hagen to that place.
Right. We can do that. I can do that.
Yeah, but let's keep moving. We need to find if this tunnel goes out some days.
Okay.
All right. You keep moving, and as you do, you start hearing a voice that seems to be chanting something. You can hear it sort of echoing and bouncing off the walls, coming from further up in the corridor, or maybe somewhere outside. You're not quite sure. And there is a sort of slightly vibrant quality of the voice, and you do recognize Valdemar's voice. He's speaking in a language that none of you understands. Yeah. It is a language that sounds inhuman, basically. It sounds like what you've heard in the woods, or at least Volkmar, you remember, you've heard.
Yeah, we need to pick up the pace.
Gunther, who's also with you, like pushes past and gripping his sword. He has, let's go. Takes a swig.
Good man.
You move forward, and you can see a little bit of light at the end of the corridor. It's not sunlight, it's not moonlight, it's firelight. There's a small fire lit inside the tunnel, and beyond that fire, there is an opening, a hole that seems to be leading out. You can feel a draft of fresh air, of cool night air, and you hear the voice from the outside. And then as you approach, you can see a small figure crouching behind the fire. And it's looking over at you. And you can see now this thing, this child-shaped something. It's about the size of maybe a 10-year-old boy, but it is not a 10-year-old boy. You see grayish skin. You see large black eyes. You see what looks to be a mangy patched beard. And it's crouching nearly on all fours. At it, looking at you, it looks like some sort of twisted gnome dwarf thing. And it just snarls at you as you approach. And it says, "You're not supposed to be here."
Do I make a snarky remark?
You both will give me sanity checks, in fact. As you are seeing a supernatural creature for the first time.
Okay. I succeed.
Oh, Gunther succeeds as well.
Woohoo!
I succeed.
Okay, one of the farmers failed, the other will succeed. So those who do succeed take 2 points. The one farmer just like, "No, what is that? No, 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 no," and just turns and runs down the corridor. He doesn't even have a light. You just hear him like stumbling and no, 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 just like hitting the walls and but he's just panicking and running away. The other one's shaken, but still standing, clutching a torch in his hand. "What is that thing?"
I don't know.
That should not be here either.
But I feel we're not welcome.
The thing will pick up a rock and will fling it at Gunther. But Gunther ducks and flies past him. And the thing leaps backwards away from the fire and disappears outside, moving fairly fast through the hole. Guy, you're up next. You're now in
Whatever he's doing, we need to stop. Or the cook. We need to stop this ritual. And I will rush toward the Valdemar, the cook.
You don't see Valdemar. He's somewhere outside. You have to run out of the tunnel, leaping over the fire to get outside.
But we hear him, so...
Yes, you hear him. You can hear his voice chanting from just around the corner, basically.
Yeah, I'll try to move towards that because we need to stop that.
So when you are leaping around through the fire or over the fire, give me a dexterity check times. So you use your your dexterity, multiply that by 5, and roll against it.
Ooh, barely.
Okay, you succeed.
16, succeed.
Okay, you leap over the fire without hurting yourself and jump outside. And you see now where you are. Remember that large stone cross that was at the top of the hill?
Mm-hmm.
That's standing maybe about 20 feet in front of you. And from that stone cross, head down, dangles a woman. She's tied up and she's moving a little bit, but there's not much she can do. She's tied to one of the sides of the large stone cross at the very top of the hill. And you're basically on this plateau on the top of the hill. On all sides, it's just a cliff going down, basically. And you see Valdemar standing there. Under the woman, there is some sort of bowl, basically. And he's holding a knife and some sort of scroll or book in his hand. And he seems to be reading from it. It's just light enough with a little bit of firelight and a little bit of moonlight coming up above for him to seem to depict the symbols. He looks up to you briefly, but then continues singing.
Okay. You said there's cliff all the sides, so it's not really, it's not worth it to shout to tell to bring them out from the other side.
It would take quite a while.
That would take too long.
Yeah. But that's your turn anyway. Volkmar, you're up next.
Follow suit.
All right. Also the same thing. Dexterity check with ×5.
Yes, 38. Yeah.
All right. You jump over the fire as well and leap outside. Let's see. And Gunther will not be so lucky, I'm afraid. As Gunther leaps over the fire, and you can hear him going, "Ah, shit!" And sort of stumble out after you with his feet burnt a bit. And the farmer also takes some damage as he leaps over the fire. Stumbling out. The little thing, gnome creature, is now looks around at the four of you standing there. No, you've come to the wrong place, humans. And just sort of postures up and like trying to scare you, or basically moving in between you and Valdemar and the woman. Guy, you're up next.
I will charge Valdemar.
You cannot get past the thing. You can run through it if you want. Or you can try to like maneuver around it. That's up to you.
Yeah, Guy would do that. I would try to grapple the thing to let the other pass.
Okay, that will be, let's see, that's a grappling check, I believe.
Yay.
So you should have grapple.
Yes. Success.
Success?
20.
All right. As you grapple, you jump the thing and you grapple. It's not particularly strong as such. It's fairly nimble though, and it manages to twist out of your grasp. It's like, and you leap to the side. You just touch it. Its skin feels sort of scaly and cold. It's pretty disgusting.
Yeah, but basically I want to create an opportunity for the others to pass.
All right, Volkmar, you're up next.
Okay, if there's a gap, I will rush Valdemar.
Okay.
With the intention of stabbing him.
Go for it. Go in for it with your knife. You should have a knife value on your character sheet.
Yes. And I miss.
You run up, you swing, but it's kind of dark, and Valdemar steps aside. The blade hits the air, cuts through the air. Gunther will run up to Valdemar as well, and he will hit. And Valdemar will not dodge. So Gunther runs up and he slashes at Valdemar. Valdemar swirls aside, but it's not fast enough, and Gunther cuts into his face, giving him a decent cut across the cheek. Ah! Valdemar shouts out in pain. Stop singing. He looks up at Gunther and he says, "You don't want to do that. You want to leap off the cliff." Gunther's eyes go wide, and you see Volkmar, who's standing close by. There's like a golden shimmer going through Valdemar's eyes for a brief moment. Gunther turns and leaps off the cliff.
Fuck.
You can just hear him, ah! And then he's falling, and you can hear like branches snapping and rocks hitting. All right. The creature will now basically holding a rock in one hand, trying to smash the rock into Guy's face. No, misses. You manage to somehow block its arm away. But the last farmer is approaching, like holding his torch in one hand, but not quite sure what to do. Guy, you're up next.
Before trying to punch the creature, I would shout, "Take the book, throw that book away," and I will throw my punch at the creature.
All right, just going in with a punch with a fist attack.
Success! 49.
But it ducks once more. It's very fast. Ugh! This, struggle on top of the hill in the shadow of the cross. This slightly dangling woman. Volkmar, you're up next.
Grab hold of the book.
All right, that would be a grapple check. You have a knife in one hand, so you have one hand free. Yes, you can do that.
Right. Come on, fingers crossed. Yes, 18.
Success. You grab the book and you rip it out of Voldemar's hand. He looks up. No, the answers, they'll be mine. Give it back to me. And he just starts going towards you. Well, Gunther's gone.
It's going on the fire.
Valdemar slashes at you with his knife. And you briefly see this blade coming towards you. You see this like old blood stains on it. This is clearly the knife that he used to cut open the throats of so many innocents. And he slashes across your chest. So you can now try a parry or dodge.
I'll try dodge.
All right.
Ooh. Yes, made it.
Success. Yeah, you swerve back and the blade. Give it back! Give it back!
Never.
That was Valdemar's turn. The guy with the guy with the torch sort of holds out the torch towards you. You said something about fire?
Shove that in Valdemar's face. I'll throw the book on the fire.
The gnome turns no, and leaps away from Guy and goes for you, Volkmar, leaping up onto your back, like trying to hold onto your back and smash the back of your skull with the rock that he's holding.
Ow.
Yeah, that will hit.
Oh,
And
dear.
you already used your dodge. Actually, yeah, you can do that again. I think there's no limit in Call of Cthulhu for that sort of stuff.
Oh dear, not this time.
You are not fast enough to react. It leaps up onto your back, and you feel the rock hitting the back of your skull. You take 3 points of damage.
Ow, that hurt.
That's getting a rock to the back of the skull does hurt. All right, that was this guy. Sorry, Guy, your turn.
I'll probably run to take the book and put it in the fire.
Okay. You
Yeah.
can do that. That would be, let's see. That's just a general dexterity check, I'd say. Just grab the book successfully and turn around and run away. So dexterity times 5. I think you should have a fairly decent dexterity, in fact.
Yeah, I have a fairly 50%, 10. So
Excellent.
50 under.
So that would be anyway.
That's special.
You would actually get experience points for that.
Hey.
Anyway, you grab the book, you lift it out of Volkmar's hands, you turn around and you run back towards the tunnel. Now, like holding the book and preparing to throw it into the little fire that's burning there. Volkmar, your turn.
I'm burning books.
I will be reaching back, slightly stumped, trying to grab hold of this slippery creature and throw it over the edge of the cliff.
All right, so you're trying to grab it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Come here, demon.
Roll
So,
a grapple check.
Grapple again.
Yes.
No, it's
No,
too dexterous for me.
slippery. Like, come, you little shit.
You little bastard.
All right. Valdemar turns and runs past you, Volkmar, and goes for a tackle, just trying to basically grab Guy and just fling him maybe off the cliff even.
I don't care how old the book.
That's a hit. He manages to grapple you.
Can I dodge or?
You can dodge or you can resist with one of your physical attacks. Still holding his knife in one hand, so he's like grappling you with the knife, then probably going to slash you open afterwards or push you over the cliff.
I'll try to punch him to stop him.
Okay, yeah, you can use your fist for a parry.
That's a better chance.
Yeah.
Success again.
Yeah, he goes in for a grapple, but you punch him in the side of the face. You don't really hit him hard, but it's hard enough to force him aside, and his hands do not find purchase. He's not a particularly skilled fighter.
Yeah. I've trained my punch earlier on Gondar.
Yeah, exactly. Okay, that was Valdemar. So the little gnome thing turns and leaps off Volkmar and also goes for Yugi. Trying to go in for the book, leaping up, flinging the rock at you, and then grabbing the book with the other hand. The rock misses, actually. Flies past your head, but it does grab hold of the book. It's like holding it now with one hand. The farmer runs up and swings the torch at Valdemar. Misses though. Valdemar ducks under the blood. The torch shoots past the three of you, illuminating this disgusting gray-faced thing. Valdemar, who's like manic. You see his eyes are wide open, and obviously Guy as well, who's like struggling to stay away from these two things. Guy, your turn next.
Seeing there's a fire next to the book.
Yeah, about maybe 2 meters off or so, but not far.
No, the torch.
Oh, the torch, yes. The torch is close.
Yeah, I'll try to set it ablaze from the torch.
Okay, the thing still holding onto the book, you're sort of pulling, it's pulling back. That will be a strong check, a strength check, I mean. So strength times 5.
Not as good. But... Nope.
No, the thing
But
holds...
I'll also tell the farmer to try to set it ablaze.
Okay. Volkmar, you're up next.
Quick glance at the woman. Is she being hung? Is she strangled by the rope?
No, she's hanging down, head down. The rope's tied around her ankles, and her hands are tied behind her back. So she looks very uncomfortable and very afraid, but she's awake, and you can see her eyes staring wide.
Damn.
Yeah, she also has a she's.
I'll go and cut her loose. I think that might be the thing to do.
You run up
At least
and
you
you
might be able to get
leap
away.
up with your knife and you cut through the rope, and she falls down onto the ground to your feet, actually falling onto this sort of bowl that was there. It sort of just like falls over.
I'll kick off the edge of the cliff.
All right, Voldemar, without realizing what's happening behind him, just stabbing now at Gui, trying to stab him to death. Nope. Not particularly. The gnome, however, is now trying to get the book out of your hands. So give me another strength check, please.
That one is a success.
Okay, you're still holding on. You cannot, now holding with both hands, pulling, but you cannot get away from you. The farmer with the torch swings the torch and smacks it into the book. And a little bit of the fire starts tearing into the leather. It's not burning full on by any means, but there's a little bit of like smoke and fire. Yeah! Guy, you're up next.
I'll still try to rip it off.
Okay. Still playing tug of war with the book.
Yeah, basically. And another success.
This time you rip it out of the thing's hand. What do you want to do?
Can I bring it towards the torch, to open it towards the torch?
Yeah, you can.
So the paper is on.
Yep. Yeah, you open it
parchment.
up, and once the parchment touches the torch, it starts going up quite rapidly. This is a very dry, old parchment. Burns perfectly. Otmar.
I will go back to assist. Try and restrain Voldemar.
Okay.
Voldemar.
So you're grappling him?
So, yes.
Okay.
Yeah, try and restrain him. No. No. Grab all of it.
Face with an elbow.
Yeah.
And it turns and stabs you in the stomach, or tries to stab you in the stomach with his knife. Yeah, that's a success.
Dodgy dodge. Oh, bloody hell. 91. Nope, he's got me.
You take 3 points. It's not a very deep stab, but like the tip of his knife basically slashes through your clothing and then tears open a bloody line down your stomach.
Okay, I'll have to back away a little bit.
The gnome, seeing the book burning, just leaps onto you, Guy, like onto your face, trying to basically throttle you and push you down the cliff as it goes crazy and just like swinging its fists like a wild chimpanzee attacking you. That is a success.
I'll still use my punch to try to block that. Success.
All right. As he comes up, you sort of, and then smack it away once, and it falls off you. Still sort of holding onto your like shirt, but not climbing on top of you. The book's now on the ground, and the farmer's just burning it, not quite sure what to do, just smacking it with a torch over and over and over again. Guy, you're up.
Can I reach for the book and try to chug it in the fire?
It's burning pretty heavily now, so if you do reach for it...
Okay. Can I try to throw that creatures away from me?
You can, yeah.
To push it away?
So what do you want to do with it?
I think it's close to a grapple. Just grab it and push.
Okay.
Success.
Yeah, this time you manage to grab it and give it a shove. And it stumbles backwards and nearly falls off the cliff. It just basically like rights itself at the edge of the cliff. Volkmar, you're up next.
I'm going to try and grab hold of Valdemar's knife hand
Okay.
and swing him round and try and throw him off the cliff.
Okay. That's a grapple check as well.
Yeah. Try and pivot him over. Ooh, 15.
That is a success, I'm pretty sure. You
Yep.
grab him, you twist his arm, his knife arm. He's holding the knife with the left arm, and sort of push him. He's resisting, but you're pushing him towards the cliff. While you're doing that, however, he will try to twist his arm and just cut your arm, basically. With one of the arms is holding like his hand. No, he will not succeed. You're holding onto it. He's like, you can see his eyes mad with rage or some other feeling in the flickering, burning book reflecting in them, and as you're forcing him towards the cliff. The gnome,
The godless days are over.
leaps onto. No, he'll pick up a rock and fling it at Guy. Yeah, and this time he will hit. He will smack you in the knee with a rock, Guy, and you take 2 points of damage.
Okay.
The rock hits you in the knee, and it starts coming towards you once more, picking up another rock. Your turn.
I'm tempted to do a Sparta move. I'll try to push him off.
Okay, that's a strong check.
Nope, that's a 99.
Okay. As you leap in, it actually manages to twist and turn and basically hit you in the leg, and you stumble past and nearly fall over the cliff yourself. Just barely. Now you're where it was just a moment ago, like holding on for dear life at the side of the cliff, just like, Volkmar.
That should teach me.
Yep. Still forcing with the elbow.
That would be a strong check.
Over there.
Strong times 5.
Right. Strong times 5. 11, yes.
All right. So you, with a mighty shove, Voldemar turns, slashes as he's falling at you. The knife passes through the air, not touching flesh, and he just goes and disappears into the night, and you just hear him.
Say hello to Gunther.
All right. Voldemar's gone. The gnome's still there, however, and the gnome will now jump at Guy, trying to just take him down off the cliff. Yes, that is very much a success.
Can I do something against?
Yes, you can. What do you want to do?
I think I'll try to slap him away too.
Okay.
Can't do that. Success, 10%.
One more, as the thing comes and like goes for your face, trying to push you over, you turn and you smack it in the stomach. It stumbles backwards, interrupted in its attack. Your turn, Guy.
Yeah, I'll still try to grab on him off the cliff, to push him off the cliff.
Okay.
Can I change change my position rather to not be in that situation?
Yes, but then you won't be able to attack him.
I'd rather do that.
Okay, so you sort of twist around past it.
I secure my position before doing anything.
Okay.
Because I have friends with me.
Yes, you do. 3 against 1.
Yeah. Okay. I'll just take a second too, just to assess the situation. Take a few deep breaths. Turn to face this creature.
The thing is not hurt. It doesn't look hurt as such. It looks angry. It hasn't been wounded yet. And it's sort of starting to look around now. Like a beast that's been cornered, basically. What you do?
Well, it's got to die. So I guess we'll attack.
Go for it. What are you attacking with?
Stab with the dagger.
All right.
My own. Yes. Yep.
Go. It does not twist aside successfully, so you'd hit it.
Oh, damn. Oh, damage. Ugh. D6 for.
It has to stay depending on what's next to the knife. I think it's 1d6, yeah.
Small knife. Oh, small. Yes, D4.
Oh, D4, yeah, it's a small knife, yeah.
Yeah, well, it's better than nothing. Ooh, 2 points.
2 points. You slash across its arm as it blocks your blade. There's a bit of blood trickling down. It's a brownish color in the firelight. It looks down.
It bleeds. It can die.
It will. The guy with the torch will run in and smack it as well. And yeah, he actually smacks it across the back. Ah! It turns and it looks at you and says, "You pay for this." And then turns and starts leaping off and scuttling along the side of the cliff, trying to get away. It seems to be fairly good at climbing, well, nearly like glued to the side of the cliff. But you can all still do one more action before it disappears. So we'll start with Guy. What do you want to do?
Yeah, I'll try to throw a rock at him.
Okay, you pick up a rock and you should have a throwing skill somewhere.
Yeah, 25%.
Yeah, so go for it.
That will not work. That didn't work.
Okay, the rock flung into the darkness. Volkmar.
I will throw my dagger. That's the only thing I've got in my hand.
All right, that was also a throwing skill.
Oh, 0-4. Yay.
Sorry?
A 4.
You hit. Excellent. Go for it. Roll damage.
One point.
Right, just slashes across the shoulder.
Yeah.
And the guy with the torch tries to run in, but he's too afraid to get too close to the cliff, and just swings the torch through the air, and it just illuminates this creature as it turns towards you one last time over its shoulder and just goes this, and then disappears into the darkness. And never to be seen again. Maybe. We'll see.
Not our problem.
Exactly.
Might be a soldier that...
Anyway, and with that, we have finished our one-shot pretty much. You have saved Julia, the last intended sacrifice. You have finished off Waldemar. Sadly, Gunther has not made it. You will find his broken body somewhere down the cliff, not far from Waldemar's, in fact. Maybe on the next day or so. And yeah, you'll make your way back to the monastery. And there's a few like small rumblings of the ground over the next couple of hours and over the next half a day or so, but nothing significant, as you have saved the monastery and the village from a pretty brutal annihilation by the very hill that they are standing on.
Wow.
And that's our Vampyre of Schwarzbrunn, ladies and gentlemen. Not much of a vampire, I suppose, but I like it.
Yeah.
I enjoyed that. That was good.
Yeah, it's a nice one.
All right, so we're done for tonight. Trumas Game says, thank you for watching and good luck with your own games. Let us know if you have any questions, and bye-bye.
Bye
Bye.
from the